The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
Soundstripe.
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
Soundstripe. Not Planet CPT. That's kind of funny. But yeah, we're late. Always on the CPT time. I apologize. As per usual, there are always technical difficulties before starting, and there were technical difficulties before starting today. So I apologize for that. But I appreciate every single one of you for hanging out in the chat and discussing our tardiness and being here with us tonight. There's a few things to discuss, a few things we're going to get into and talk about. They said they can't hear. Isn't that great?
Love that for us.
Why? Jesus Christ, bro. This is why I want Henry in fucking...
Yeah, you like barely hear you. They need to be turned up.
I don't get where, or I'm assuming maybe OBS, but that's not an OBS thing. Hold on,
The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
Soundstripe.
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
Soundstripe. Can you guys hear us now? Tim's talking. I'm gonna test it. No, I have it turned up on my phone. pod track itself?
Yeah, the little notch.
Shouldn't have been touched. Shouldn't have been touched, but I turned it up. I just turned up everybody's mics on the pod track
Turned up how much?
to 4.
Well, put them on 5.
All right.
We're trying to fix it.
That's just so fucking frustrating. Like, that shit is mad annoying, bro. Mad annoying. I don't know if something got unplugged. I don't think so. Looks like
So,
everything.
someone said the sound is very low.
Yeah, they can hear us. It's just low.
Okay, so
I couldn't hear us when I had the damn thing on the phone.
I can.
Oh. You can hear us talking now?
Mm-hmm. Background noise just loud. This is all the way up too.
I don't know why the background noise is so fucking loud.
I can't hear anything on my end. On mine, it's like all the way up. Can any of you guys hear us? Yes. Can you guys hear us?
I don't know why the background music is so loud. It shouldn't be.
He said that cat just spit still.
well, just don't mess with stuff. I'm trying to fix it for you.
But the background music is really loud.
So don't mess with it. I'm trying to fix it for you.
Oh, I can hear us.
Bro, the world would be a much funnier place. It's going to sound crazy saying this. Just imagine if white people were still normally saying the N-word. Like if Henry was like, stop messing with it, nigga. Trying to fix it, you fuck. Racism is crazy. Oh! I sold.
You know what? The fact that I have to. My nerves. My nerves.
Like imagine if Trey walked in and was like, "There's, alright, nigga."
If I didn't have Mary,
Alright, nigga. what's gonna happen. Is it better?
I don't know.
Niggas are saying they can hear us now.
And can you hear me?
Are we good? Loud and
That's as
clear.
high as we'll go.
Yeah, well, it really sounds like we're talking in the room. It doesn't sound like we're talking into the mics. Is that just me?
Maybe because you can hear it on the phone.
Everybody's saying we good.
One of you tap your mics.
I mean, every-
I was finna do some childish ass shit.
Everybody went to do it. I mean, I'm.
So there's an egg, bro.
Oh, that's because I have my phone on.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They say it's good.
Okay, well, maybe they can hear us and it's good.
Let's do this.
I didn't hear the music, so we're gonna turn your volume down.
It's pretty loud on their end. And it's in my ear, a lot of shit. Did all the settings reset because the computer shut off? Like, I don't
All the things are wrong.
I don't know. I turned the computer on and it said reconfiguring, so I'm not the tech guy.
Well, that's as good as I can get it for now.
That music can't, like... What is this? This is the music, ain't it?
Okay, stop fucking with it.
Okay, so... Ain't that the music? That's how I controlled the music the last time.
Listen to me. Listen to me, okay?
Listen,
When you
nigga.
turn the volume down on the music, they can't hear it.
Okay, well, it's really
So
fucking
if you
loud.
don't want to hear it at all, I can just stop it from...
No, it's not that I don't want to hear it at all, because I heard it the last
Well, you
stream.
have to not hear it.
No, turn it back on, because I heard it the last stream, and it was fine.
They can hear it. We cannot.
I'm listening to, I have the stream. I have the stream pulled up on my phone. That shit's loud.
Okay, try again.
Just turn it off. I'll fix it later.
I already fixed it.
It's still loud on their end. I have it on my phone. Yeah, just take it all off completely for now.
Right.
When I can get in here later, I'll adjust it back.
Monkey. What are you doing?
Jesus.
She's like a little fluff thingy.
Okay,
Or just one.
I'll call you later.
Okay.
This is why I don't do tech shit. Because I get, like I said, I was that kid that threw the PlayStation, so I don't handle tech issues well at all. That shit is frustrating as fuck. But again, as I said, now 14 minutes ago, thank you all that were here during the tardiness, because as you saw, we had technical difficulties even before we turned on the computer. Or press go live. I apologize. When I turned on the computer today, it said reconfiguring. What the fuck it was reconfiguring, I don't know. But it reconfigured everything that we figured. So
I'm not gonna lie, my nigga. When you leave, I'll have to start closing all these tabs out.
why?
Cause that shit just ain't good for the computer, bro. You left them tabs on there for like a week.
I know, but it never does anything. Like, it never
I'm
does.
just saying, I know your ass since you got it, you ain't reset the motherfucker, turned it
No,
off.
I am in here on streaming days and streaming days only. If it is not a streaming day, I am not in this room.
Well, that's probably why that motherfucker had to reconfigure.
You know what's
you in
weird?
there.
What's weird is the Lenovo, the old computer that we use. That one sits next to my bed. If I touch it, it's maybe once every 3 weeks. That bitch ain't reconfigured shit. That shit is pulling up tabs that I had pulled up when we used to stream on it.
That motherfucker also
Why don't
started
you just
screaming
close those
and getting
tabs?
hot and motherfucker too. So.
Right.
I don't
Just
close the
close
tabs,
the
but I don't want to
tabs.
fucking close the tabs. That's why I don't close the tabs. Now, here we are. We're going to get into what we have going today. And some of the things that we have to get into today are going to be some of the Marvel stuff still going on. We're going to talk about the box office for its week 2 in the box office and what that's ultimately, what that means for Marvel, what it means for the film, what it means just in general for things going on with Marvel. We're going to talk about some of the things going on with Superman Legacy that James Gunn has talked about and released, and some of the things that have come out about it, and the cast, and more. We're also going to discuss a few other things involving Marvel as far as projects go, like Thunderbolts. We're going to talk about Agatha. We're going to talk about Thunderbolts, Agatha, and I forgot the other one. But we're also going to talk about Daisy Ridley saying that the next Star Wars film is going to be super exciting, or that fans are going to be excited. I'm sorry, Thor 5 also. Thor 5. We'll talk about all those things and more. But before we get into that, we're going to see how everybody was doing. Corey, how have you been since last time we saw you?
Good. A lot of good things are happening. They're just all happening at once. So I'm slightly overwhelmed. So I'm very happy to be here with you guys and decompress and keep my mind off of it because I don't want to deal with it.
Oh, you see a lot of things were happening. I thought you were saying good things.
I mean, all good things, but like just a lot that I have to do. I'm moving right now. I'm in the process of moving. And if you've ever moved, it's a lot. So
It is a lot.
yeah, it's a lot. And then I have my state board test coming up. And then my mother's in town, so just a lot. Just a lot.
And you're not completely moved in yet.
No, not yet. No.
Yeah, moving is a bitch.
Yeah, moving
Moving sucks.
is tedious and time consuming, so
Just moving shit out of this room sucks.
yeah.
So I can't imagine moving across town.
Yeah.
No.
We're gonna be here forever.
Oh yeah, I don't plan on going anywhere unless Deborah says otherwise. I don't plan on going anywhere. Q, how's your week been?
Same old. Deadass. Chilling with the dogs, cleaning, slight working here and there until I start officially going to work Sunday. And then I got my car back, so finally done working on that shit for now. But other than that, deadass binge watching The Blacklist, watching fucking NBA games, NFL games. Booked a flight to Vegas today for New Year's. So
Nice.
that's what we doing.
Well,
How are you doing?
how
Nobody
am
asked
I
that, Nick.
doing? That is a loaded question.
Yeah, how your week been, cuz? You know, you never talk about you.
That's a loaded question.
No, it's not.
It is. It's loaded.
How are you?
And that you can't break down in so many different ways. I don't know. How am I? I'm all right. I'm here. This week has been fine. Sitting in these dumbass classes with this repetitive ass shit being told to me every damn day. That's really annoying. Just got my car back. That's been hell. Not having a car. You don't really realize. You don't realize all the, just like the other night I was just like,
Damn, I'm hungry.
the other night I was like, I'm about to go to Walmart and grab blah, blah, blah,
No, you're
blah.
not, nigga.
And then realized, fuck, no I'm not. I can't go anywhere. I don't have my car.
It's
So,
the worst when
It's
you.
literally
It's the worst
worst.
that first day when you go and your car don't
I would
start.
say they're all bad.
That first day when it don't start, like when you really hungry, nigga, and I'm trying to leave and you like, damn, my car not starting. I
Yeah,
gotta
it's
stay
the
home.
worst. It is the
Yep,
worst.
It's the worst.
And it's been pretty bad. But got the car back and everything, so we're all good there. Yeah, like I said, I'll be back done with these damn classes and back working home in December. So other than that, nothing to really tell. Thor, they're being really mean to Mama again. That's when she's in here. So he's been a little bastard these past 2 weeks. I don't know what the fuck's been on with him, but he's been terrible. Terrible. But, like I said, we have some things that we are going to get into with you guys today, and it's going to continue on that same train of talking about what the fuck is going on with Marvel Studios. We're going to talk about that stuff, but we're going to save that for the latter half of the stream here. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and just discuss what they were saying here. I did a stream about this alone when I was discussing the similarities between everybody saying recast Balin Skull and recast T'Challa. Obviously recast Ray Stevens as Balin Skull and recasting of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. So there was making those comparisons there to those two. But Dave Filoni actually came out recently and gave some insight on what their plans for Balin Skull. Now, obviously, these two did not watch the Ahsoka series. On Corey's journey, she's nowhere close to Ahsoka yet. Mm-hmm. So, well, I want to say nowhere close, but we're not close to Ahsoka yet. So we have, they're not privy to anything that's going on in this article, but obviously we all know that paid attention to the Ahsoka series that Ray Stevens did pass away after filming of the Ahsoka series, which left a huge gap in the franchise's future for the Ahsoka season 2 and things like that. Not as far as like production, are they going to do Ahsoka season 2? That is pretty much not confirmed by Lucasfilm, but we've heard through rumblings and things and scoops that is something that is on the table. That's something that they're wanting to do. But how do you do that without one of the essential characters of season 1? And not, in my opinion, even though it was the Ahsoka series and I loved the series. I have negative things, that there were things I hated about it, but there was so much that I loved about the Ahsoka series. And Balin Skull, I think, was probably top 2, not 2. And I know it's the Ahsoka show, and that's the crazy thing. And I love seeing everything about the Rebel stuff. I love seeing Ezra and Thrawn back. I loved everything like that. But Balin Skull, the introduction of this character who we've never met in the Star Wars universe, what Ray Stevens brought to that character was phenomenal. What he did with that character, making you feel like is this character really the villain of the? Is he the villain? Of the series, or is he one of the villains of the series? Not the villain, but is he one of the villains of the series? Because his motives don't lead you to believe that he's a villain. I kind of said this to just make a comparison here for the Marvel fans that maybe did not watch, people that did not watch the Ahsoka series or things like that. I said this last week or whenever the fuck we watched the Marvels. Dar-Benn, terrible fucking villain, but the motives, I don't consider her to be a villain because, the motives behind what she was trying to do. You stole something from my people. They can't breathe. They're not living. We're on the brink of extinction, about to die. So I have the power to give them something. I'm going to do that. Right. I feel like that if in the, that position, that's a decision we'd all make. So. Right. With Balin Skull, it's the same thing with his decisions in the show. He makes the decisions that he makes decisions that you question: is he the villain, or his decisions actually moral, and things like that. He even says at one point when a character mentions about killing Ahsoka, he says it would be a shame to kill. He either said Ahsoka or Jedi or something like that. But so it's just. A big gap in the series with Ray Stevens gone. So the question remained from everyone's mouths was, what do you do with that character? Well, it really wasn't a question. It was more so the barrage of people on Twitter saying, recast, Ray Stevens. We got to see where this character goes. We got to see what happens with this. And of course, duh, yeah, you recast him. There was never a question in my mind or anything like that where it was, just let Ray Stevens be done. No, you definitely recast the character. We got to know where the story goes. I said all this during the comparison video with T'Challa, but now that we have a confirmation, because we weren't really for sure if they were going to recast the character, and this really is not confirmation. This is just more so Dave Filoni touching on it. They asked him about it. I'm not going to read exactly what Vanity Fair said to him, but they asked him about it and things like that, and he said, obviously there's a story there. We're in a wait and see pattern, and at this point, but I'm glad the conversation is about Ray and how great he was. I used to have many debates with him and say, Ray, you're the villain here, and he'd be like, I don't think so. I was like, I know you are. I know you don't think so, but you are. I love that you're playing it like you're not, which is exactly the way Baylan thinks. So, like I said, with the way the season ended, season 1, with the cliffhanger with Baylan standing on the Mortis gods statues and things like that and looking off into the distance, we still know something's calling to him. We don't know what it is. There are theories that people have that's calling to him. So obviously with that whole cliffhanger ending in season 1, that has to lead to Baylan Skoll having a future in the Star Wars universe in season 2. So they more than likely are going to recast Baylan Skoll, but that is just something that Dave Filoni had to say about it. So quickly wrapping this up on the Star Wars news, Daisy Ridley, because again I know, and this is somewhere we're also not in Corey's Star Wars journey, but Daisy Ridley, our favorite Star Wars character, Rey, said that the new Star Wars movie is not what she expected, and she said that more so talking about how it was going to be, she thinks it's going to be good, she thinks it's going to be a film that Star Wars fans are really going to like and things like that. But here's the issue with that. It's not so much, the film can be, Empire Strikes Back. That's not the problem. When you're looking at Star Wars fans, you're looking at Daisy Ridley, and I'm speaking for majority of Star Wars fans. You may not be one of those if you're in the chat, or maybe you watch this in a replay. Maybe you're one of those Star Wars fans, you love the sequel trilogy. I love that for you. But a lot of Star Wars fans hate the sequel trilogy. That's just point blank period. It's just trash. And when you look at Daisy Ridley, you see sequel trilogy. When you look at Daisy Ridley, you think ick. You think and I'm not saying that about Daisy Ridley. I'm sure she seems like a sweet girl. She seems fine. She seems like, yay, I want to hang out with her. She's nice. But the character of Rey is a character that should have never been created, and is a character that brings nothing to the Star Wars franchise. It's a character that, to me, just skated by, got her, like, everything just happened so easily for Rey, and it just was rushed and just not a way to introduce the character. So introducing her in why we're trying to figure out why Star Wars is even doing it, episodes 10, 11, and 12. That makes absolutely no sense to me or a lot of Star Wars fans. But with them doing episodes 10, 11, and 12, it's going to follow Rey's story. And she says that it's something that fans can be excited for. To read exactly what she said, I'm only going to read her quote. I'm not reading the article. She said, I will tell you, Steve, when I saw you in Park City, I had not been approached. I was asked some, not by you, but I was asked something when I was there, and strangely, people were asking me stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not doing another one. Then, she's talking about, obviously, another Star Wars film. Then it all happened after I came back. It was such a nice reception. I was shitting myself before I went on stage because no one knew I was going to do that. No one knew I was going to Celebration bar like Kathleen Kennedy, and there were a couple of people. I was so nervous. No one. Well, I don't want to be rude. She said, "Oh my God, it was such a wonderful reception. It was I'm very excited. The story is really cool. I'm waiting to read the script. I'm waiting to read a script because obviously I don't know anything other. I don't know any other updates. It's not what I expected, but I'm excited." So obviously the writer's strike had things to do with that. Cutting off the actors within writer's strike put the halt on the script writing and the storytelling and planning and all that stuff. It's hard for me to get excited, and it's weird to be a Star Wars fan because a month ago I was high on Star Wars talking about Ahsoka, and now when you discuss episode 10, it's like, ew, why are we doing this? This is a waste of time. Spend your money on something else. But fans aren't checking for Daisy Ridley. But you know, if she's excited, I'm happy for her. That's great. I'm happy for her. But I'm going to put this on the table now because that film's going to come out in 2025, 2026 sometime. I said it about the Marvels. I'm going to say it about that. No one's going to go watch that. It may be a Star Wars film, and there's not a Star Wars film that has ever hit, not one, that has ever hit theaters that has failed. Not one. That might be the first. Because fans are disconnected. We don't want shit to do with her at all. At all. At all.
It's the first time for everything, so.
So, you know, that might be a first. So, you know, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're excited about Daisy Ridley returning as Rey, and again, it's not Daisy Ridley. If you're excited about Rey returning in the Star Wars universe and a whole another 3 movies surrounding Rey, and maybe I should be optimistic. Maybe. I mean, I've been optimistic Star Wars fan before and been kicked in the dick, but hey, let me be optimistic again. Maybe we should be optimistic and think with Dave Filoni having the being promoted to basically what Kevin Feige is over at Marvel, now Dave Filoni is over at Star Wars, that's a fucking positive. Maybe it's a positive and maybe a negative. Who knows? I don't know. We have to wait and see with Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy is still over there. Until that is out the door, things aren't going to change. So, but you guys got to let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking of the Star Wars updates. What do you think about Dave Filoni being promoted to the position he is now in over at Lucasfilm? What do you think about Daisy Ridley coming back for episodes 10, 11, and 12? And what do you think about, what was that last one there? The last thing I did there. Sorry. Dave Filoni talking about Baylan Skoll returning in season 2, the recasting of Baylan, and who would you want Ray Stevens to be replaced with? Let us know all those things down below in the comments. Anybody say anything about Star Wars fan? I know we have a few in there.
Mega said, are you guys excited for Rebel Moon?
I am excited for Rebel Moon.
Looks good.
It does look good. That trailer is what, like 6 minutes? It's a very long trailer.
It was.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Rebel Moon.
Tim's talk said recast Baylan, Gerard Butler, or Liev Schreiber.
Yeah, Liev Schreiber for sure. I think he'd be great.
And then he said he's like anti-hero somewhat, though he does seem to have a code.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Omega said, I think the real title is the new Star Wars movie is not what the fans wanted.
Yeah, that too. I mean, it's just, we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, it's one of those things with Star Wars.
D. Steele said Baylan was Dark Jedi-ish, and Gray said they're recasting Baylan.
Yeah, they're definitely going to recast it. So, but yeah, that's the Star Wars news there. So we will segue into some DC news, and that's going to be the news going on there with Superman Legacy. Superman Legacy, as you all know, that and Brave and the Bold are 2 of the DC projects that I'm most excited for, but Superman Legacy is something I'm very excited for. Well, at first I was very excited for, then after hearing James Gunn was going to be directing and writing, I got optimistically excited, but then after hearing some of the other positive things we've heard about it, like it's not going to be an origin film, so we're not going to see Kal-El fleeing Krypton, it blow up and all that. We're not going to see that story. We've seen that story, been there, done that. We don't need to see that again. I'm glad we're not doing that. So the League is not established, I don't believe, because Superman doesn't really even know who he is from what, and I'm going to get into the plot synopsis here in a minute that has come out. But we know that Mr. Terrific is going to be in the film. We know that Shaira, Hot Girl, is going to be in the film. We know that Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, is going to be in the film. I think there's some other heroes that are going to be in it. We know Lex Luthor's going to be in it. The main villain is going to be Brainiac. That has come out. Am I
what
missing?
reporter did they just cast?
Let me pull up my...
All the casting's been pretty gas so
No, the
far.
casting has been great.
And the picture of Corn Sweat that dropped.
Yeah, I
that
saw that one.
That nigga's getting big. No homo.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's her cast.
No, that
here.
nigga is getting ripped though. I looked at him.
Oh, that's
I was
a
like,
good
because
cast,
I
though.
remember last time because we were talking
That's
about
right.
the cast, and he was skinny as shit. But we were all talking about not skinny as shit like me, but we were talking about how he looks just like him and everything. But if he actually gets where he doesn't need anything in the suit or any padding or anything extra, and he's just jacked in the suit and everything.
Yeah.
That's honestly a 10 out of 10 casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good cast.
Yeah, no, it looks great. I still would not have. I forget his name that's playing Mr. What's his name? Eddie. I still wouldn't have gone with him as my Mr.
Probably.
Terrific.
It's probably Gage.
But I like it. I still like the cast. I like the cast a lot. I forgot Morph was in it, but I like the cast a lot. Yeah, cast is gonna be good. So, Superman Legacy. Like I said, it's shaping out to be something that's going to be pretty good.
You're just a lot of goddamn actors.
It is.
for
It
your
is.
first movie.
For like I said,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. We've discussed that so many times with Superman, and especially when it came to Superman Legacy, especially when it came to you doing a reboot, especially when it came to the benching or removal rather of Henry Cavill. Everyone came to that conclusion that since you've made this decision of all these things that you've taken away off the table, and you're doing a rebooted Superman film, it has to be. It can't.
Yeah,
It cannot be anything
can't
other than
miss.
perfect. It
Yeah.
can't. It can't. And right now, what I'm seeing, I really like. I like the cast. I'm going to get into what the plot synopsis is. Again, take it with a grain of salt. It's coming from a scooper, but get into that in just a second. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from Superman Legacy. I'm liking what I'm hearing the plot is going to be. It doesn't sound like it's going to be this Footloose type of film where everybody's going to be dancing and shit. It's going to actually be a good film, but it's actually going to be a film that highlights Superman. You know, me and Cody had this discussion, argument, debate
all the time.
when talking about Superman, and you know, I love Henry Cavill's Superman, and I agreed with Cody when he said this, that you know the Superman that is portrayed in the Snyder universe is not
What are we doing?
Superman. It's not the Superman that Superman was originally meant to be. Kal-El is not supposed to be this evil, you know.
And that's what.
Dark.
Who's the actor that came out and said that Superman was too dark for him and stuff? And that's where I was
forgot.
like, he's been watching too much fucking
Yeah.
of the Superman that's came out and shit. Because, like you said, I mean, enjoyable in Cavill terms, but
Yeah.
Superman and DC comic fans, I don't think rarely any character has been that accurate that
Right.
we've seen in the movies. I'm just being honest. I mean, we've got a couple here and there, like Heath Ledger, and then we've gotten, but none of them have been like super accurate portrayals. Or I guess that's also in the writing though. Like no character's been written well enough to have a full story or arc or anything. So we've only gotten like bits and pieces of each character and stuff. And so I honestly hope like that's the main thing. They get to start to establish a universe just so that they can start getting the arcs, and we don't have
Yeah.
just the start of Superman's story, and then we
And
have
you
to
gotta
wait
do another
6 years,
Yeah.
like an origin.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
It seemed like this
6
movie
years
was
for the
just
next
gonna-
part of that story, but then the story doesn't even make sense because they're doing so bad, so they're just trying to do all this random shit.
Right.
So, honestly, I mean, that's how Marvel got their start. Cast. You got to nail the cast and everything, and so like
I
even
like this cast.
even just to elaborate what you said a little bit, we talked about how the first movie can't just be Superman and a couple other people. Like they got to get a supporting cast, a couple other heroes, more than one villain in here. Just because they got to nail this in terms of this movie can't just be good, but it also has to like make people want to watch the next one
Right.
in the universe.
What are
and
you
stuff like
building
that.
in this universe?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, like I said, it looks great. The cast looks great.
Yeah, I'm not even a DC fan. I, don't watch much DC. We know that, but this cast looks really good.
Yeah,
That gets me excited.
yeah,
And it seems like this movie is just going to go straight into a story. We're not getting so much, like you said, it's not an origin, but it's not necessarily an arc. But it is a story enough to get us to the next movie to start building an arc. And I think that's a great place to start.
yeah. It's great. And like I said, I don't know if any more heroes or villains or anybody else is going to be added to this list. Notable characters, rather, from the comics.
Just Brainiac. They haven't cast it.
Yeah, they haven't casted Brainiac yet.
And I think that's it. I mean, that we know of.
That's what I'm saying, that we know of. I'm wondering if there's going to be any other members, future members. Again, they're not the League now, like, because Superman, from what I'm going to read in the plot here, they're not the League. So, if there's going to be other heroes that are going to be in it or anything like that, but I'll go here to what the plot has to say. Let me get to that real quick. What they said here, and this is coming from viewer Anon, and he has had some scoops before, and they have been great. I want to make sure I follow everything. And this is what he said. He said, heard some stuff about Superman Legacy. I trust the source, but this stuff is always fuzzy. Superman's early in his career and isn't widely known. So yeah, he doesn't, the League's not formed. Well, no, League's not formed. I would hope James is not doing it in a way that the League is formed without Superman and Batman being founding members. But anyway, then he said widely known. His big public reveal happens in the Middle East, where terrorists have gotten a hold of Kryptonian tech. And he goes on to say, Waller and Sam Lane send in the Authority to investigate. They believe Superman is responsible. Superman learned of the tech in the Fortress of Solitude and hopes it will be the missing puzzle piece to discover where he comes from. Anyway, the big bad is Brainiac behind everything, as said in the first post. I trust the source, but it's all a game of telephone with info passed ear to ear. So we'll see how much of this, if anything, pans out. Sounds solid to me, though, if it's true. James Gunn did debunk something, though, because James Gunn has to comment on everything.
He has to talk.
He did debunk that the crisis, the problem in the Middle East is not going to be in the film. It's not going to be something they put in the film because of the current
situation
going on in the Middle East. They don't want to have it too close to home. And he could just be saying that. He could actually put it in the film. I mean, it's James Gunn. I mean, the film doesn't come out till 2025. He could. But regardless, I feel if they were to do something like that, and it could show, like I was saying earlier, it could show you who Superman is as a superhero, as a character, as what he stands for. Superman loves humanity first and foremost, and the dark, grungy Supermans that we've seen, although I've loved that version of Superman because it happens in the comics, I've loved that version of Superman and everything like that, but we still have not gotten that Boy Scout, because that's what he is.
What is it? I don't know what's so hard to understand about the nigga's been on Earth so long, he loves it and feels human.
Yeah.
I don't know what's so hard to grasp about that concept. Like, to any, not just fans in general, like, think that the nigga's just an evil, dark, brute story.
Yeah, that's just
or
not
some shit.
Supes at all.
Well, was
Like,
it
the
kind
nigga
of more...
is the definition of a superhero, like a nice American superhero.
The save the cat out
even
of
though
the
he's
tree
not, even though he's
superhero.
an alien, like when he's on Earth, he is depicted to be like an American superhero,
Yeah, like
the one everyone looks.
Superman
looks
is
up to, likes,
Superman is
loves.
a golden age superhero.
Yeah.
I mean that's what he is. He's in that era of golden age superheroes where, like I said, the superheroes that would come get cats out of trees, and that's who he is. That's Superman. I mean, he's not.
Yeah, like saving old niggas in fire, burning buildings and shit.
And I understood what Cody was saying when we had that discussion. Like Superman's when you are arguing with the dude, and I like the Superman film by Zack Snyder. I like it. It's not like the perfect Superman film like some people claim it to be, but I like it. But it's like the bar scene when they're having the argument in the bar, then the dude comes out and Superman's like folded his car over the telephone pole or something like that. Superman wouldn't do that. That's just not.
Yeah, he's not petty.
It's just not a Superman thing.
Yeah.
But so I'm excited for it still. I cannot wait to see whatever. I need something, a breath of, and I hope James Gunn can do it, because I even heard with all the shit going over on at Marvel, with the whole Joanna Robinson book coming out and her doing those podcasts and that Variety article, a lot of shit has come out. A lot of other shit outside of the shit we've read in those articles has come out. And one of the things that has come out is that, and this is hard to grasp, and I don't know if I completely believe it, but it's one of those things where they were saying, as much as we, I don't want to say we, I'll speak for myself, as much as I have praised Kevin Feige and given Kevin Feige praise, calling him one of the greatest producers and all the things I said about him, some of the things said is that Kevin Feige is not the one weaving this shit together. That a lot of this shit, the way Endgame and everything went the way it went, the Infinity Saga, Josh Whedon had a lot to do with it. James Gunn had a lot to do with it.
I thought that was confirmed.
Marcus and McFeely had a lot to do with it. No,
Yeah.
but see, I've always been under the impression that yes, they had things to do with it. Like obviously Josh Whedon did what he did with Age of Ultron. I love Age of Ultron.
Well, I just know Feige wanted to kill Thor, Cap, and Iron Man. Infinity War or Endgame, one of those. And that, and then, I mean, I've always praised Kevin Feige. I've been on his side too, but I remember whenever, I forgot what movie, I think it was Love and Thunder, we left, and we did our review the next day, and I was like, at what point, like, does this fall on Feige's shoulders to where, like, he can just let so... It's like being a owner of a sports team that continuously just sucks. You know, you can blame the players, like, but as much as you want, but then again, like,
It's gonna come down
that
to
owner, that nigga got to do something.
Right.
And so, like, as much like power, like we talk about that he had withheld and everything. I mean, I've praised him, but I've also brought up the fact that, like, I mean, maybe it's like seeing the fans being disinterested. That nigga's disinterested as well. But I said it before, that it just don't seem like he really even give a fuck, because it's gotten bad. Like, I remember we were having convos of, is Marvel on the downfall? Is Marvel this and that? I mean, shit, we're here. That wasn't too long ago. Like, that was not even a year ago, and we are here right now. Like, this is Marvel's worst. Like, it can get worse, but not really. Like, they're not selling.
Right.
You can't, they're not dropping a TV show that we're watching at home. What If's gonna do bad? Like, they are lucky they got to bring Deadpool into the MCU. They are lucky, because if not, they would be fucked next year. I can't, what? Bad. And so, just getting to that point, I think we have to place a little bit of that blame on Feige, just to agree with what you said a little bit, because just hearing back whenever those rumors started coming about if he wanted to kill everyone in Ultron, and then even the Chadwick Boseman rumors came out, he knew he was going to be the leader in the next phase and everything with Brie Larson and Tom. It's just, we knew some decisions weren't made, but it's like, we didn't know why. But it's like, Feige never gets publicly blamed or anything admitted on him, and it's like, as much as I don't want to, hell yes, that nigga fault. Like, we all got faults and errors in us and shit to blame for, but I just don't think that he is at fault for why they're so bad, like in a bad position. But I think he's at fault for he let it get this far. Like, they're not in a bad position because of him, but it got this far because he didn't decide to stop it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, during COVID, they could have just waited, postponed everything. Instead, they tried to release a bunch of shit and flip everything around and take shit out. They could just waited, resumed the timeline. No. Nigga sold.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. And, you know, like I said, it's just been somewhat of a disaster. But before we get into that, let us know down below comments on Superman Legacy. Are you excited for Superman Legacy? What are you thinking about what viewer Anon said about somewhat of the synopsis of what's going to be going on in the film, with the Authority being involved, with Waller being involved, all the heroes, and Brainiac being the main villain, and etc. Let us know down below what you guys are thinking. Are you excited for it? And James Gunn, do you trust or not? What are people saying?
Raymond said, Corn Sweat is my Superman. No, I agree.
Yeah,
That was perfect casting.
He is.
D. Steele said, Guy Gardner's a smart-ass jokester. James probably think he's the greatest GM. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know, him or... Yeah, probably. Mano said, DC...
Yeah, no, Guy for sure is... Are you talking about as far as, like, jokester goes, out of him and Hal?
Yeah.
No, Guy for sure.
Mano said, DC taking notes, perfect time to take the throne.
Yeah.
Rohan said, what's the cat's Sprite? Mano said, Brainiac is a dope villain to start with, though. We never seen him yet on film. Also was the leader of the Legion of Doom in the Super Friends cartoon.
Yes. Dre Mac, my brother, thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
It.
Dre Max said, "What up, crew? Peace and blessings to everyone at work. We'll watch the replay, but wanted to show love.
I appreciate that, brother.
Always appreciate you watching the replay too."
I was tuned into one of your videos the other night. We need to talk, but we'll talk soon.
That's it for Superman. We talked about Kevin Feige a little. If you want me to read those, but that's it.
Oh
for
yeah, we
Superman.
can read what people said about Feige.
Or, hold on, there's a couple more. Grace said, "I'm ready for the film. Looks like they're channeling Superman Birthright."
Mm-hmm.
And then Kenny said, "I thought they were starting with Lex." Lex is in the film. I don't think he's going to be the main villain of
Yeah.
this. I'm pretty
Well,
sure
you know,
they're going
Lex
to have
always
him like
has
just,
something to
just
do
a
with
comic.
it.
He's going to be like how he's a comic-wise. He's going to have his hand in everything.
Yeah, he'll have his hand in it for sure, and I'm sure. It's I'm really excited though because Brainiac is such a dope DC villain, and such a dope Superman villain, and done correctly. And James, I think he's gonna do it right.
Shit, after watching the High Evolutionary,
Man, after watching the High Evolutionary,
I don't have a doubt. At least in the terms of Brainiac, like we all have the questions about Superman and the storytelling just being the first movie, but Brainiac, I don't have a doubt about that.
I think Superman Legacy is going to be one of the best superhero films of 2025, if not one of the best superhero films. And I could be wrong. Maybe mark this video, clip this, come back to this in 2025. I could be wrong, but I know I've said things about James Gunn and things like that. But I even said after we watched Guardians 3, James Gunn still took Guardians 3 in a time that Marvel fans could give a flying shit about the next Marvel project, and people were lined up to see it, and it made money, and it was great. And that's saying that about all three Guardians films. Not one of them is bad.
All
the
three.
first one's good. The second one is good. I enjoy the second one more. I think the second one's probably my favorite one. But the second one, and then I don't like the third
You
act
said
of the
what's
second one.
the second one's your favorite one?
Yeah, I don't like the third act of the second one. But I love the second one. I think it's hilarious.
It's
The third act is
no,
very hard to get through, but it's not
after
bad.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I remember saying like James Gunn, with him being in charge, he might turn me into a DC fan. Like I don't have a doubt, but I also don't have expectations because it's not a
Your
world.
genre.
Yeah, it's not a world that I've like really been into. But if I'm gonna start, I might as well start with James. He hasn't let me down yet.
I have expectations as a DC fan, and he better bring it. And I think he is. Like I said, I'm optimistically hopeful with everything I'm seeing. I think that this could be, if done correctly, one of the greatest superhero films we've had to date. So, but let's get into the other news here and everything that's going on with the Marvels.
Still?
Still. Well, and I say still because it catapults you into a much larger conversation with Marvel. Not the Marvels, but Marvel. So allow me to rant here just for a second. It's because I don't really know what can be said that hasn't already been said about the Marvels. We've said it all. We've heard others say it all from their YouTube channels and things like that. We've seen people in the comments come in and say what they've thought about, after watching it. And there are people that have loved it. There are people that have found it unremarkable. There are people that have found it aggressively okay. There are people that have found it a fun ride, et cetera, et cetera. It's but whatever your mileage may be of what you found it, the overall opinion of it is poor. It is now the largest drop-off in Marvel movie MCU history.
What do we call that?
It had a 78% drop-off. The film in its second, or its opening, it's the second one. No, it opened in the opening. It opened to 45 mil. and for Marvel, obviously, that's a recipe for disaster. That's not something that they wanted. That's not something I'm sure it's something they expected. They can't tell me. I don't think anybody over at Marvel Studios can look me in the face and tell me that they didn't expect this to happen to the Marvels. That is why, that they didn't expect this to happen to the Marvels. So, with all these things going on, and again, before I get into what I'm really going to say here, it's never been a hate thing with the Marvels. Like I said, majority of people, like I just said, that some of the things that people were saying about it, that was fun. We all in this room said we had fun. It was a fun film. If you ask me, or you go back and you watch what we said about it before, I said this before and I'm saying it again. It is the most fun I've had in one of the Marvel's films since Endgame, outside of Guardians and No Way Home, or in Shang-Chi, because every other film outside of those that has come to theaters from from Marvel since Endgame, I don't care about. They're not films that I go back and watch. They're not films that I talk about. And the only time that I ever talk about Multiverse of Madness is to talk about Wanda. It is not to talk about...
Let's just face it. I'm tired. That movie sucked. Can we stop acting like that shit was good?
It's good for me in the Wanda sense. Like,
no,
Wanda
was
was phenomenal.
Sense. That movie sucked.
Wanda was phenomenal in that film.
There's no Wanda sense. That's like saying Wakanda Forever was good in the Namor sense.
No.
That shit does not
very
work.
different.
Not very different at all.
Thank you. Very different.
Not
it is very different because what Wanda brings,
No.
Wanda brings substance from a previous Marvel project. This motherfucking Namor popped up in Wakanda with all this power that we had never seen from him before, because we had never seen him in the MCU before.
Multiverse of Madness stunk because nigga, what was even the point? I mean, that you're talking about someone who has previous Marvel content, but in the multiverse, Wanda, no, none of that shit makes sense. Her searching for her, it makes sense, but her searching for her kids, going to Carmontage and fucking with Stephen Strange, and then basically making that nigga her bitch. No,
I'm not. Her doing all that. That's not my appeal for the Wanda. But this is not about Wanda. But I am going to say this.
No, Wanda was the best part.
That's not my appeal for Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness for me. It's the dialogue with Wanda. It's my relationship with Wanda that I already previously had with her in WandaVision. It's the investment I have in her, wanting her to get her kids back. Her bitching Strange, her destroying Kamar-Taj, her sending that shit. I don't give a fuck about that. All I care about is the plot synopsis of her intentions of why she was doing what she was doing, because I was invested in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Other than that, couldn't give her less. Couldn't care less.
She flexed her power. She flexed like she's not the one to fuck with.
Yeah, she
Wanda
proved that she
Wanda was the best part, and she was a good.
Everything
about her was great.
Yeah, everything Agatha said about her and WandaVision, she brought it to floration in Multiverse of Madness. So I can see what you're saying about that.
Doesn't make the movie good.
She was like,
that's all I'm going to say. Wanda being a well-written character in that movie does not make the movie good.
Yeah, but that's also not what I said either. I never said the movie was good. I said that I liked Wanda in the film, and outside of Multiverse of Madness and Wanda, for me, that's the only thing that draws me to Wanda, or to Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying
Wanda.
we need to stop acting like if that shit is not a good movie. Like it might, because it's the same thing as the Marvels. If we it's fun, but what is the really the resulting end of the plot? We don't know. It doesn't really lead to anything. It was misled by the title of Multiverse of Madness, because that's not what it was.
Yeah, but see, we all in this room have all said that about Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. We've all said that Multiverse of Madness is what Multiverse of Madness was when it was. Wanda in it is a totally separate thing for me. As far as the Marvels goes, we've watched this film take a major decline in viewership, as if anybody watched it in the beginning. But no one watched it from the beginning. Like I said, it's on the 78% drop. For Marvel, that's just it's not something, it's a recipe for disaster with everything they're doing over there. And worst case scenario thing could be, more hypothetical I guess, could be, it's not people like us in this room that Marvel has to worry about. That's not, it's not us you have to worry about. It's not us going to the films and things like that. It's not us tuning into your Disney Plus or whatever the fuck you put, Hulu or wherever you put it, shows, because we're going to do that every time. Even though I had even at one point said I don't even know if I want to go see the Marvels, but as a Marvel fan, I am invested in this journey that I've been on since 2008. So yeah, I want to see what your next installment is. Yeah, I want to see how this affects what we've been watching and things like that. But with all that also comes the normal fan, the casual fan. You don't have that with it. It's not us you have to worry about. It's the casual fans you have to worry about. It's the casual fans that aren't tuning in. It's the casual fans that don't give a fuck. It's the casual fans that are lost. It's the casual fans that don't care. And as some of the things we pointed out with the Marvels was Nia DaCosta. And this is where I'm going to kind of switch it up. Where it's not so much the Marvels, where it is Marvel. It's not so much the Marvel issue where it is a Marvel issue. And I kind of posted this on Twitter, or not Twitter, Instagram earlier this week because I've known about, we haven't talked about it in here, but we've known about the Silver Surfer rumors for a while about the whole gender swapping of it being, or making Silver Surfer a female and things like that. This is where it switches up to where it's not the Marvels problem, because when you look at it, when you really break the Marvels down to bare bones, the Marvels was not a terrible film. It's not. It's not. When you compare it to Love and Thunder, when you compare it to fucking films like Quantumania made what? Quantumania made, in its opening weekend, Quantumania made, or worldwide, sorry, $467 million. Thor: Love and Thunder made $760 million, almost $800 million. Morbius made $167 million. The Marvels right now is tracking below Morbius. So this is never, so when, again, and I love, and I hope there are people in here that have been so high on the Marvels. And I want you to stay high on the Marvels. I don't want to diminish your experience because I had fun with the film too. I don't want to diminish anybody's experience. But it was never a thing of hating the Marvels because anybody was hating Brie Larson, because no one hates Brie Larson over here. I can't speak for other folks. No one hates Brie Larson. It was never a thing of some of the other factors that were going against it, like the strike or things like that. And even with those factors, people kept throwing that out there, saying, well, there's a strike. You know that the actors and this and this and that, they can't promote you. Even with those factors, let's say there was no strike. Even if they could have promoted the film, if Brie Larson could have promoted, if Iman could have promoted, if Tiana could have promoted, no one was ever going to watch the Marvels. No one.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we're missing the connection with this conversation with fans and with people that are watching these whether it be my YouTube channel, whether it be someone else's YouTube channel, wherever the fuck you're watching, where we're missing the disconnect. It's not the Marvels. It's Marvel. People aren't tuning into Marvel. Simultaneously, you had the finale of Loki going on at the same time Marvels. No one fucking watched that shit either.
Right.
It's not Loki. It ain't the Marvels. It's Marvel. Because you're making decisions, dumb-ass decisions like the ones they're making with the Fantastic Four. Just to give a quick synopsis of what we kind of know already. The Fantastic Four are going to be the only heroes from their universe. There are no other heroes in their universe. They're the only ones. They're from the 60s, where they're going to have an incursion that hits whatever fucking universe and brings them into ours. And Mila Kunis at one point, I'm bringing this up to bring it back around. Mila Kunis, let's not forget, at one point was going, don't sit and, no, Darius, that wasn't real, it was fake, they were just, no, fuck that. Mila Kunis at one point was going to be the thing. Let's not forget that. So them changing, making Norrin Rad, and I understand, and I saw people making this comparison on Twitter too. Yes, there are the female versions of Silver Surfer, but when you talk Silver Surfer, you don't think them. You think Norrin Rad. You don't think them. You think the Silver Surfer. The Herald of Galactus. That's what you think. So when you think of them making Silver Surfer female, it goes back to the quote Kevin Feige said when first asked about Fantastic Four. We're going to do something different that we've never done with and when he meant that shit, because this is different, and this is different to the point where you're going to lose people.
Yeah.
You're going to lose people. If this film comes out, Silver Surfer is a woman, and this is not a sexist thing, and I've seen that online, people saying that same tired-ass fucking recycled argument. You guys are just so mad because it's women empowerment. It has not shit to do with that. You are taking a character whose origins and you are completely changing him.
Yeah.
That is
Very
not
established.
that this is not who this character is. This is not who Silver Surfer is. This and not only that, let's continue a little bit more on the Fantastic Four. And I'm rounding it around to everything I'm saying here. Sue is going to be the lead in the film, not Reed. Sue. In that, I'm not saying that in that way to say to stifle women empowerment or any of that shit. None of that. Don't come at me because I sat through fucking She-Hulk. So, but when has Sue ever been the fucking lead of the team?
Right.
It's never been that. All these changes that they're making with the Fantastic Four, I'm not on board. I'm not on board. I'm not liking what they're doing with it. And if it continues down this route, if Marvel does not make the quick and decisive change now, because see what they're going to do is, like I said on Instagram, is when we complain about Silver Surfer being a woman or any of the other shit, what they're going to do is they're going to get mad about it and they're going to look at us as the fans and say we're bigots, we're this or we're that. But it's not us. It's Marvel. It's the creatives. Nia DaCosta. There were people trying to throw things on Nia DaCosta saying that she did this or she did that, or even when we read the Vanity Fair article when it said she had left the set early, even though other directors had done it before. I had never really seen a director leave when they're that deep into production. Either way, I'm not pointing anything for her. What I'm saying, or pointing anything at her, what I'm saying is this right here. Sean Levy. This is from the Marvel Studios subreddit, and this is I'm gonna read all of these, but the first one I just want to read. I'm just skip down to the bottom here. It says, and this is from the Aaron Adams podcast. He said Disney was in contact with Sean Levy and gave a carte blanche, and basically is like a free slate, like a clean slate to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, a blank check, with the production budget. The list of actors and scenes that Levy may wanted for Deadpool 3. Taylor Swift is going to play Dazzler in the movie. Disney really wants Deadpool 3 to be the project that makes general audiences excited again for Marvel titles. So, why did I read that? What does that have to do with anything? What I'm bringing that up to say is, they're not dumb, bro. Marvel knows this. Why do you, the scene, even Aman Vanali came out in an interview this week and said that the scene with and I'm sorry, I love Aman, I don't believe this, but the scene with Beast and all that was pre-recorded and all that kind of stuff. But let's play the game and say it was pre-recorded. Why was that not the central focus of the film if it was pre-recorded? If you know the juice of what you've got is the X-Men, why would you not put the X-Men in the film? Because what we got was an inconsequential, unremarkable, fun, but it meant nothing film.
Right.
It meant, what did that film mean when we left? What did it do to progress where we currently are in the MCU? What did that film do? You mentioned no incursion. There was no incursion. In order for us to get to Secret Wars, we have to start seeing incursions. We were promised incursion. No incursion. What did that film do? You had Carol, who's still battling shit from the first film. She can't remember shit from the first film. You got the weird relationship between her and Monica. You've got the fangirling, which I loved Amon in it. I loved Ms. Marvel. The fangirling and all that stuff going on. It's fun. It's fun. I'm not saying anything like that. It's fun. But you gave Nia DaCosta fucking table scraps. You gave her a character that's still struggling with a past that no one really gives a fuck about. 2 characters from Disney Plus that no one fucking watched. Then you gave Sean Levy a clean slate to say, hey, take the X-Men and make this remarkable fucking film. When you could have gave Nia DaCosta the same fucking shit. Why am I saying it like this? Because she came out in an interview and said what she wanted to do. And what did Marvel say? No. This kind of brings me back, even though I hated the show. I hated that show. Everybody knows I hated Falcon and Winter Soldier. The showrunner. What was his name? Spellman. Marshall or Marcus Spellman. Something like that. The black dude. That was talking about everything he wanted to do in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He was talking about, bro, they were talking about doing some, and had they done, and I, even like I said, I didn't watch it, I didn't like the show, I still watched the behind the scenes shit, I watched all the interviews and all that stuff, and he talked about how they wanted to do Spider-Man, but that was such a stretch. But they wanted to do old Cap, Chris Evans. They wanted to do in some capacity, kind of danced around it, but in some capacity have old Cap come in. Some of the things they wanted to do, but Marvel told them no. So it's not, I know sometimes we like to jump on these creators like Taika, even though, you know, that was Marvel's fault. They gave him the reins.
Exactly.
No one's saying don't give these creators the reins, but when these creators are coming to you with dope-ass ideas that you know the fans want to see,
And you're shutting
give
up
them
about it.
that.
Yeah.
Give them that. Nia DaCosta sat down on and said that she wanted to do a fucking Cyclops and Storm film of them together as the two leaders of the X-Men. Why not take the... Because you know they're not going to give her an X-Men film because they're not ready to officially bring the X-Men in. But why not let her take Cyclops and Storm from another universe, whether it be Halle Berry and whatever his name is that played Scott, bring them in and have them be a central part of that film. That film instantly gets way more exciting. Way more asses in the seats. Why? Because it's taking us in a narrative, taking us down a road where we know where the fuck we're going. The multiverse. We're starting to see shit happen. But as cool as all the switching and shit was, it was cool, it was fun. What did it do for Kang?
Yeah.
What did it do for the future? What did it do for the multiverse? All it did was battle Carol's demons and mend fucking bridges. That's all it did. And that's not on the Marvels. That's not on Nia DaCosta. That's not on Brie Larson. That's on Kevin Feige and crew. Because you knew what you had before you put it in production. You knew what you had when you added the X-Men in. Why not make that the central fucking meat and everything about it? And all that, all the Young Avengers, that's cool. That's great. But ask me if I give a fuck about a Young Avengers right now in the MCU. Ask me. I don't. And I've been so high on the Young Avengers. I have. You guys know Children's Crusade is one of my favorite comics. But what does that... We're not... The Young Avengers happening right now, if we're even still going in the direction of Kang, whatever we're doing, it just doesn't make sense to the central overall plot of the story you're trying to tell. So, I don't know what the last thing I'm saying, and I'll let you guys go. The last film we're getting before the year break is Deadpool. Deadpool's coming out in 2024, then we don't have another Marvel film until 2025. That is a positive thing. And why is it positive? Because Marvel needs that break. They need that year. They need that year to sit down and figure shit out. Because, again, worst case scenario, and it's not going to. I don't think it's going to at all. But we're living in strange times. Let's say no one goes and watches Deadpool. Because, again, maybe it's few or so, but I'm expecting, not just me, I think Marvel too is expecting that film to do billions. Not millions.
Yeah.
Billions. Why? Because the X-Men are in it, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, blah, 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 first rated R MCU film, all those things going for it. But if the things we're still getting up to that, let's just say it's just shit. I don't see people not going to see Deadpool. I really don't. But there is a world where people don't. And in that world, it could be another thing, again, where Marvel is continuing to just go downhill. And I'm not saying the cracks are showing. I'm not saying that the ship is sinking. What I'm saying is, if you don't course correct soon, because again, it ain't us in this room. It ain't us. And I'm sorry, this really is the last part of that. It ain't us. But with the merger of Sony, the merger of Sony, even though Marvel hasn't announced that officially themselves, Kevin Feige alluded to it, but the merging of them and Sony, even though the MCU is not gonna give us a film in 2025, you're getting 3 from Sony, and that's 3. So when I say you don't have to worry about us in this room, you have to worry about the casuals. Up until Deadpool 3, after Deadpool 3, you get Madam Web, Kraven the Activist, and Venom 3. And with all 3 of those films, we've already seen the trailer for Madam Web. It looks like a CW show. It looks like shit. Let's call it what it is. It looks like shit. The plot synopsis. Ezekiel Sims is a great villain. He's cool. Blah blah. All that. That costume looked like something out of the CW. The action, the dialogue was something out of fucking the CW. It just it doesn't look appealing. It looks like more of Sony being Sony. The Animal Craven activist getting bit by the lion and the reshoots and all, that looks like that film looks bad too. Venom 3, from what we've heard about it, uninterested. So if Marvel and Sony are truly merging, then those are no longer Sony films. Those are MCU films. That's how we have to look at it. If they're merging, those are MCU films. So after Deadpool, you're gonna get MCU Sony, activist, Web, Venom. So for the casual fan, that's high off Deadpool. Then I'm gonna get shit from these TikTok fucking CW costume wearing Madam Web chicks. Venom 3, which we don't know what the fuck it's gonna be. And Craven getting bit by a lion and getting his powers. That's what you're gonna get after Deadpool. So for the casual fan, that might be like a damn, what the fuck is going on? But for us, we're still invested. We're going to see what's going to happen in Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff. So Marvel there's some thinking that has to be done, because you can't have your illegitimate cousin over there producing shit while y'all are taking this hiatus trying to figure shit out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know who's gonna fix it, how it's gonna be fixed. But again, I'm not saying the cracks are showing. And this is me actually being a positive toward the Marvels. I'm not saying this is a Marvel problem. It's a Marvel problem. Not the Marvels, but it's a Marvel problem. And it's gonna happen again, even with the next. What's next? What is next? I don't even remember. Is it What If?
Yeah.
Oh, we're still doing that?
Okay, there are going to be episodes people watch, because there are some that look cool. Like, I kind of want to see the one with, what's his name? Rings.
Oh.
The Mandarin.
What if,
I kind of want to see the one with the Mandarin, and some of those other ones, but no. No.
YMCA, just to let us know.
That's not it, and neither is, I think a lot of people too are going to tune in though to Echo, because it's not the typical look for Marvel, for what we're seeing right now in the MCU. It's not cosmic. It's more grounded. It's more gritty. It's more what people want to see right now. So people actually may tune into Echo.
I will.
But I was winded. I told you. Thank you for letting me rant. Thoughts on anything?
I mean, I definitely don't disagree with what you're saying. I don't think it's necessarily the directors or the writers or the creators. I think it's just Marvel in general. Had the Marvels been able to promote more with there not being a strike and, the weird hatred towards Brie Larson, I think it would have been obviously doing better than what it's doing, but at the end of the day, like you said, it was a great movie. Don't get me wrong; it was a good, cute movie, but it didn't do anything to push the timeline. Like, we're still in the same boat. We're still asking the same questions. We're still trying to figure out what's going on. But it was cute,
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree.
See, if that's y'all being positive, then fuck that.
I mean, I don't
shit
even
is
think
not,
that's being positive.
shit
That's
ain't
just being
positive.
real.
Like, no, these niggas fucking suck. I'm not gonna give anyone a pass. The directors, writers, creators, Feige. Let's go back. Let's take it back to when it very first started with which came out, Loki or WandaVision? WandaVision first?
WandaVision.
Good. They thought that and was it really good, or did niggas love Wanda? Niggas loved Wanda, and it was good. So, okay, we're like, they may be well writing TV shows and shit like that. We get to Loki, good. Whatever came next, no. And it's just like, whatever came next has no, the problem isn't fun, bad, good, it's no rewatchability, no talk. I cannot sit here and name a Phase 4 or 5 project I've rewatched. Unless it's been on YouTube and I've watched a scene. Nothing from... I'm not even gonna lie. No Way Home means fucking nothing to me. That shit is not rewatchable because
what like you said, and that's mainly what my point I'm trying to get to whenever I was comparing Multiverse of Madness and the Marvels. They're all the same. Like, what the fuck are we getting at? We have a movie that ends that doesn't get to the main point in Multiverse of Madness. Then we have Shang-Chi ends. We have the Eternals ends. None of them lead to the greater good, the bigger picture. Like, we have What If here, we have She-Hulk here, we have Falcon and Winter Soldier here, we have we have shit just jumbled up everywhere, and it's just one big pile of shitty spaghetti. Like, it's not even. You can have good stories. We can and that's what I'm trying to elaborate on. Like, Wanda, well written in Multiverse of Madness, but that's not saving anything because it has nothing to do with the grand. Like, your storyline is all fucked up. Like, Shang-Chi, written well. Makari, the Eternals, they were written well. But the story fucking sucks. Like, the story they're trying to tell, I don't even know if they know it. Because it's just like...
No, they don't.
What are they... Okay, so usually whenever we have phases 1 through 3, the post-credit scenes led to something. They all tied into one bigger picture. I can't tell you the post-credit scene from No Way Home. Can't tell you the post-credit scene from... I mean, I can tell you Eternals, Blade. I can't tell you... that. I don't... That's how much I don't remember. You want to know why? Because the shit fucking sucks. Like, yeah, we can go have fun. I had fun watching Black Adam. That movie sucked. Like, let's be honest, like, and separate fun from... I can have fun watching a basketball team that's fucking ass. Or, like, the shit's fun. Cool. Like, fun written character because they're superheroes and we like superheroes. But the stories... they're bad. I don't see them getting any better. Because, like I said, they're lucky to get Deadpool. And so, just to elaborate what you saw with them merging with Sony, if they didn't merge with Deadpool, shit, all next year would be shit. 2025, they know Captain America is going to be shit, so they made it a cameo fest with 1,000 Hulks and superheroes and this and that, and we don't even know yet. All for the greater grand of we don't even know if we're doing Kang anymore. I'm not going to sit here and say they can fix it, the cracks aren't showing, this and that. They're not in a good spot. Like, I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way any of them are coming out and talking about pushing shit back and giving us what, once again, like you said, we may watch Echo because it's fun, but why weren't you going to watch Echo? Because it has nothing to fucking do
Oh, well, I'm still not watching
with the
Echo.
greater... Okay, so why? Because it has nothing to do
I'm
with the
still
greater...
not watching
So it might
Echo.
be fun, yeah. What, Spider-Man freshman year? It might be fun. Ironheart, 2022, nigga. That shit filmed in when it releases, that's 3 years. I don't...
But no one's checking for Ironheart either.
So why... That's my thing. Why is all this shit become...
No one's checking for... But to go back to the top thing you said, I will, after everything I've been, looking into these past few days and just listening to these different interviews and going back and watching Spellman's and stuff like that, and then watching Nia DaCosta's that she did with comicbook.com, I can't... I would like to say that everything, and I'm not saying I'm not taking everything off of DaCosta or taking things off of Raimi or any of the other creators, but Marvel also has to be open to good ideas. I understand that maybe you're not ready to bring the X-Men in. I understand that maybe, some ideas may contradict your ideas of what it is you're trying to tell with your story. But
Right.
when a creator is coming to you and they're giving you good ideas, and it's things that fans want to see. I don't care what anybody says. I do not care. That X-Men scene was put in the Marvels
Well, that's one of the
of all films.
That's one of the last things I wanted to talk about too. Is like how many we can, and that's like we can blame directors, writers, creators, and this and that. But I don't know why we don't blame Marvel, Feige, Disney, because they should get the most blame. Because how many times do they release like scrapped images or scenes or what they should? And everyone in the comments is this looks way better. This that this you should have did this. This costume looks better. This scene looks better. This you should have put this and you should have had him land like this. Like everything they do in the behind the scenes and unreleased shit and the sketches and everything always turns out better than what they release. Like always. Like how many times have you seen something that they release even on their social media and it's been bad? Like, And so it's just like you said, they have to be willing to accept good ideas, but it's like they don't even. I think it ties all back into, I don't know if they know what the fuck they want to do.
Exactly.
Like, it really does tie back into they did not know where to go after Endgame. Because it goes back to Secret Invasion should have been a big, much bigger. It goes back to that. Like, they're wasting ideas. They've been wasting ideas since the day one. Civil War was wasted. Like, and there's a lot of shit that was wasted even though we liked it or enjoyed it. And so it's characters wasted. And so it's like, I don't know, I start to look at it in like the deep picture and I'm like, I'm a comic book fan. Like I love this shit. Like genre of movies, I really like. I like watching TV, like crime TV. When it comes to movies and other shit like comic book. So it's like when I look at like the normal human, if I was my little brother, this shit sucks. I'm not watching any. My little brother's in high school. I'm not watching. I guarantee you, this is the last thing I'll say. At lunch, when I was in high school, we talked about Marvel movies, and we were athletes and shit. Like we talked about. I can't tell you how long we sat and talked about Infinity War Endgame at lunch and class, and those are just two movies. Like we debate Iron Man. We debate everything. I guarantee you, no niggas are doing that right now. And if they are, they have to be comic book fans like us. Like, the general audience, I've read some of the comments that have came by. The Boys, Invincible, Superman. Like,
But
nobody...
See, Marvel knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. They're pulling from that shit now. I mean, it's one of the things we're going to talk about, too, is it ties into everything we're still talking about. It's the Thunderbolts, the stuff going on with the Thunderbolts. You know, what did fucking Can We Get Some Toast say? Can We Get Some Toast tweeted, because what you just said, The Boys. Hold on, though. Can We Get Some Toast tweeted, in the Marvel's Thunderbolts, the Void is not just the embodiment of Bob Reynolds' negative aspects / emotions. It becomes it's a fucking realm that the characters will be able to enter in the third act. And we know Marvel's third act's always fucking. So this sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Why not just do the Void?
Yeah.
Why not just do the Void? Why not just do the Void the way the Void is supposed to be done? You want to know why you can't do the Void the way the Void's supposed to be done? Because you got a group of fucking goofy-ass motherfuckers all in one film that are supposed to be... This is going to be a Suicide Squad Authorities type of film. That's what this is going to be. That's what this is going to be. And the reason I stopped you when you said the Boys is because Marvel knows that, and they're tapping into that. They're trying to make this Boys-like. Now they're adding Stranger Things type of elements where you're stepping into other fucking realms and shit. Like, this is the fucking Upside Down. Like, I'm not...
That's where they lost it, trying to copy it. Because they had their script, and then they started taking Rick and Morty.
Bro, you've got the blueprint. You have comics.
Yeah. Man. And
just do what's in the comic. That's it. You don't have to borrow from any other genre because the genre you have already stands on its own.
Right.
You don't have to do all this fucking extra shit to try to put asses in the seats. You want asses in the seats? Do what people are buying comics. Well, bought. And still some people do buy. But you want to put asses in the seats, that's how you do it, bro. I mean, you just stick to the source material. It's all right there.
I definitely agree with what both of you guys are saying. Like, at some point, as much as we've all set up here at some point in, like, you know, our Kevin Feige stand, there has to be a point where accountability has to be with Marvel, Disney, Kevin, and crew, because this has been some long years. This has been some long years of some bullshit. And like you guys just said, like there's no reason for y'all to pull from other material when you have literally centuries of a blueprint.
You have source material. It's right there. You don't have to change anything.
They're doing too much.
They are,
and they're not sticking to their sources, and that's where it's leading to the big. Like, they want to do the multiverse, the Void realm, and then they're bringing in Mephisto, and so I would assume you have to do Hell. That's just what I would have.
Right.
I would assume it. And then you're doing all this shit with the TVA and Kang outside of time, so that's not even in the multiverse. That's just outside of time. Then you merge in the Sonyverse, and then you...
It's just doing too much.
Good fucking lord.
Well, and you know, but see that again. That's another issue. That is another one.
You're bringing in the spider totems and the web of life. And Are you sure you want to merge with Sony right now?
But see, that's my thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You see, so that's the thing. It's like once we merge with Sony, it's like, ew. Now all these characters are here.
And
Like
that's-
all these
and that's
characters
what I
from
wanted to
Sony
say
are
when you
here.
said, like, Sony's not a successful
No.
movie making. Like,
No.
you're
That's
not-
the point I
you're
was
not-
getting
Yeah,
at.
you're
Yeah.
not merging with a
No.
successor, someone to promote. You're merging with the nigga that's. You're looking to pick them up.
Exactly.
Like, you're merging
It's a
with them
desperate move.
specifically so you can do what you want with Spider-Man.
Exactly.
That's
It's
just
a desperate
that's
move.
what you're doing. Like, and
mean-
but what sucks with that is them merging. Marvel's not gonna have majority say so over. It's still gonna go to whatever Sony says and whatever the fuck they do. It's just gonna affect Marvel's wallets. And so I may not be alive for it, but I'll tell you, it's gonna happen one day. Marvel's going to have to sell because looking at the Marvels and how they're losing money on that, if that just continuously keeps happening,
Oh yeah. If it
eventually
continuously
you're going-
happens,
it's gonna end up what happened with the comics. Everyone's gonna stop watching, and then you're gonna have to sell it to someone who can make it boom again, and it's just gonna be a whole another life.
and that
cycle.
comes down to the question where I've even said this, and this is hard for me to say. It really is. It's tough. It's tough because I'm such a fan. Well, I don't want to say was. God, that's so. I still am, but just. Oof. It's hard to say.
Is it time for Kevin to sit down?
It's time for Kevin to go. If Fantastic Four, I'm saying Fantastic Four. I've known people. Some people have been giving it Secret Wars and all that. I'm not. And the reason I'm not giving it Secret Wars is because the Fantastic Four is something you from day one said you wanted to get right.
Yeah.
And something you needed to get right. Reed's involvement in Secret Wars is far too important for you to squander that. So, can't believe I'm saying it again, but he would have to go. He would have to go. And then, not only that, I don't know what they're doing. I know there's been talks of them coming back or them, with this whole year of them taking off after Deadpool and things, there's been talks that Marcus and McFeely, they're trying to get them to come back. And rightfully so.
Right.
You need them back. What you just said there about Kang and everything like that, those are things we've mentioned before, too, about the whole, what's the difference between the Infinity War saga? You knew from post-credit scene to post-credit scene, you knew it was leading into something that fed into the future of the MCU or
Right.
fed into the current plot or branched into a plot that was going to feed into the overall arching plot of the MCU. None of these, there are so many post-credit scenes right now that are loose threads that don't mean a fucking thing. What the fuck is Hercules and Thor doing right now? What is that? I mean, I guess that could take place more so after.
Hulk showed up at the end of She-Hulk.
Yeah, like at the picnic and all that shit. Like, what does that have to do with any of that? With any of it? So it's
the nigga's hands sticking out there.
I think
fucking.
this year break and the next few movies that come out in 2025 are gonna not just make or break Marvel, but make or break Kevin. And I mean, I get it. As much as I would hate to even say it or to hear it, I mean,
he would have to.
for Paradise. I mean, the sun goes down at Paradise too. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you had a solid team, you had a solid village for so long that executed the first 3 phases like they were supposed to, and then now we don't have them, and we're running loose, and we're running rampant, and we don't have an idea, we don't have a vision, we don't have a storyline, we don't have a plot, and now we're here. So if this cleanup, if this reboot doesn't go the way it needs to go, I completely agree. Like, I think we need to start sitting down, and we either
Looking
need to
elsewhere.
sell, or we need to get a new creator in, because it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, they've got a lot of work to do, a lot of fixing. Like I said, it's not us. It ain't the fans in the rooms you've got
It's
to
not
worry
the
about.
strikes. It's not, because at the end of the day, your fans and even common people, if it's good, if it's right, if there's a plot, if there's a story, people are going to find a way to watch it. People are going to make sure they find a way to watch it.
Yeah.
And what you've given us these last 2 years is not it. No one's making a point to watch it. Strike or no strike, COVID or no COVID, no one's making a point to watch it. No one's talking about it. no one's discussing it, and something has to give.
Yeah, they've got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And with that still comes two other things that can we get some toast put in. Again, this is just one to me that you shelf. I mean, cancel it. I've said that a lot about a lot of shit lately. Every time they say something, I say cancel it. Wonder Man, cancel it. Thought it was Agatha, Covenant of 3 different names, cancel it.
Cancel everything that's not fucking. Let's get to the what we need. Like let's get to Doctor Strange 3, and then let's get to let's stop all the Wanda's dead bullshit, and let's progress the Wanda storyline. Then let's say fuck Cap in 2020. Let's get that storyline done and good. Like let's get to the characters
Thunderbolts.
who fucking matter. Like
Cancel it.
Thunderbolts don't matter as much as like we said. Fun. We personally
Cancel it.
sometimes you want to see Agatha. I want to see it. Cancel Agatha. Cancel Echo. Cancel everything that's not fucking prevalent to the main storyline. Like, let's stop with the experiments of can we do TV shows? Can we release them all at once? Can we make them longer? Can we make them shorter? Can we make them some might want to see a season 2? No, nigga, we don't even want the first one. We stop. Like, let's just get to 5-6 characters, get niggas to like them. Let's progress the universe, then start sprinkling all that other bullshit. For now, I don't want the void as a fucking place. Like, bro, I'm not. I just it.
There's just too much.
I don't want
on. It's all
Silver
over the place.
Surfer as well, unless it's Nova. In which sense, niggas aren't gonna like Nova because that's not who they're used to.
No one cares.
That-
No one cares because no one outside of, again, it goes back to the conversation of outside of
Comic
book readers. Casuals don't know who the fuck Nova
and
is.
casuals, that's the thing. Fantastic Four has already been established. I think it would have been different if we didn't have the movies that we have, and we're not established with the characters that we are already established with, even though it was decades ago. For you to switch it up now, for what?
Yeah, they'd be like, why? Fans are gonna be like, fans that saw the original. Again, fans that aren't comic book readers that but watch these movies that saw the original OG, what's their names? OG Fantastic Four films with Alba are gonna see the new Fantastic Four and say, wait, the last time we saw Fantastic Four in a movie, I thought the Silver Surfer was a guy. Why is he a girl now? And then, you'll lose more people being like, well, it's just more of that MCU, same old, changing this, making this, that, or whatever. So,
bullshit.
Yeah,
that bullshit.
When was the first time I said it? Whenever they were making point. This was the argument with Fastos and Eternals when we first started the channel. Like, just unnecessary switches for no reason. Like, making switches to the source material that it's like, I really wish I could be, like, in the room to, like, who suggests some of this shit? Like, who is like, alright, let's actually, that nigga Namor gonna be Mexican, Latino roots. Fastos, let's make him gay.
I'm saying as much as a lot of that is Feige because Feige is the same
You
one.
think that?
I think so because Feige is the same one that said the Fantastic Four is too white. But this is the same person that also said
true.
he won't recast T'Challa.
That is, I forgot he said that. I forgot he said that.
So they're too white. Like what? I'm all for diversity. I'm all for it, and we know I'm not even going to get into that. But
No, I completely
all
forgot
for
about that
diversity.
shit.
But the fact that what?
That
What does that even mean?
Is
Like,
did
nigga, the
not
big
age well
orange
for him.
rock is the epitome of white. He's Jewish. Like they are white. Like
They're white.
They're, like, what you mean?
That's who they are. They're white. Like he really. That's why it was so hard for them to find a Reed. He did not want Reed to be white.
No wonder Wakanda was going to be a bunch of British niggas.
Man.
He's like, they too black. I forgot he said that shit though, which takes me back to the point of it's like, imagine like creative and director and writers just being in a room discussing everything, and Feige walks in and he's like, "No, make this work."
Yeah, no.
Make this work
I'm
to
telling
appease.
you,
And we talked about it, appeasing the wrong crowd, like misrepresenting the wrong crowds with shit that actually you just made up is like more disrespectful than not doing it at all.
Exactly. I think
Secret Invasion.
I think Marvel's first big mistake was going with Disney. I think that's when we got the whole, we have a checklist that we need to mark. We need lesbians, we need blacks, we need Latinas, we need deaf, we need Native American, which is great. Like, again, I'm here for diversity. I'm here for representation. But there's just so many, at this point it's just getting out of control. And I think that's where Marvel messed up, is going to Disney, because I think that's when all of that shit started. Because it was never a problem beforehand.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's a lot of work to be done. So, but this is also, let's see, from the Marvel Studios subreddit, to go back to that, what I was going to read there. So Echo was cut down from 6 episodes to 5 episodes. Agatha Coven, or I'm sorry, what is it? Whatever the fuck, is being done as a Halloween event for Disney Plus, starting from mid-September 2024. So I guess it's going to go from obviously mid-September, and then the finale, I'm assuming, is on Halloween. Then it says Spider-Man freshman year and Marvel Zombies were supposed to be released in 2024. New release dates potentially pushed off until 2025. Ironheart wrapped up filming in November 2022, likely to be released Disney Plus 2025.
Okay.
Sources at Disney/Marvel Studios described Kevin Feige was trying to be a good cooperative citizen when Bob Iger asked him to slow down the speed of releasing MCU projects. Then it goes on to say Marvel and Disney had made some calls to get the Marvels to be opened in China the same date as in the US, but then they could not send in the cast to promote the movie. Then the last thing was, like I read earlier, about Sean Levy and Deadpool 3 and things like that. Can we get some toast? Said this also. To no one's surprise, Chris Hemsworth is in talks, obviously, for with Marvel for Thor 5. Taika Waititi confirms that he will not be returning. He said, this is Taika, it is very draining process working on these films for 2.5 years and non-stop. Needed a break from that.
They told you not to come back.
Yeah,
Just say that, nigga.
I think it's one of those things where they just had to tell Taika, I don't think they fired him officially. It's one of those things where your boss is kind of like,
It was a good run.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. We don't want you to. We're not going to fire you. We just want you to kind of resign.
Yeah.
So
Quit, nigga.
Yeah.
So
Tell them you're done.
It's
Yeah.
very much we're firing you, but PR wise, you're letting this go. You're
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is, because there's no way they were letting him get his hand on Thor 5.
No.
No way.
Held a gun to that nigga. Tweet. Tell them you quit.
So yeah, like I said, that's the news. Those are the things that are out right now. As of right now, don't know anything else. What's going to happen? They're going to take that hiatus within that year after Deadpool. Deadpool is the next big thing we have, and we know that obviously everything is going to be thrown into Deadpool. Captain America 4 is going through 4 months of extensive reshoots, which honestly you could shoot a whole new movie in that time, but
Should shoot a whole new movie in that
Yeah.
time.
So who knows? Who knows what
God,
that
I
stuff is
beg
gonna
you.
be.
Good Lord.
God, I beg you. Please.
Who knows? But like I said, that's news. And then we'll jump on some of the comments there.
Mano said, to this day, I don't understand why someone's sexuality needs to be known or matter or shit matter. We don't care what you do in your personal life. Boom. I don't care. Like that
That is
Icarus
it.
scene in Eternals.
Yeah.
You talking about the sex scene?
Yes, bro. Like, there's just so much shit where it's like,
It was a very long and awkward
why
scene.
the
Yeah.
fuck do we care?
And I feel like
Who's gay, who's straight, who likes this and that? Like,
this might sound
that shit is
corny.
not prominent.
Yeah, it's not important. It's not vital to the situation. And I think this might sound really corny, but the whole, and I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but when I started my whole Marvel journey as a young kid, I remember being so infatuated with Stan Lee because his whole reason for superheroes was so that no matter who you are or what you are or what you wanted to be, like, you can find a characteristic in that superhero and relate to it. So I just think it's really weird how now we have to take the time to identify these characters like sexuality or try to change their ethnicity or their just anything about them, because it's not like you said, there's no point.
Mhm.
What did that scene have to do with what we're trying to get to?
Yeah.
None.
None.
Rohan said the writers and production team and Kevin is causing chaos to the MCU. No, yeah, they got a motherfucking match under that shit.
Yeah, they do.
D. Steezel said Norrin Rad is one of the more important cosmic characters. Call me crazy. I just want these characters to look how they look in the comics.
Exactly.
Like, niggas can't get anything. Like, we can't get a look. Like, we are dead ass happy when we get like, oh my god, comic accurate. Like, nigga, why is that not the standard?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is that?
not
Yeah,
that?
like.
Honestly.
Raptor said definitely wasn't Victoria Alonso pushing that diversity message by herself.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, Kevin was in there.
Ron said the Young Avengers may carry the MCU because they are not doing a good job with the older characters. By the time we get to the Young Avengers, them niggas gonna be old. Like the
Old
way-
Avengers.
Which this, I don't know how like off topic this is, but I've been seeing a lot of things online, like
Like-
through sources that I go through, that like old characters are coming back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like Robert and Cap, and that's like really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I hate that for us. Okay.
Yeah, no, Secret Wars has to happen.
No, like, nigga, even at the end of the Marvels, like, what did Kate say? I'm 23? Like, nigga, that's not a youth.
You
What
are
the
an
fuck is
adult.
young about
You
that?
pay taxes, like.
Yeah. 2 more years, she off her parents' insurance.
Omega said if they had done the Skrull storyline arc, we would have got Young Avengers, Miles, and a proper new Avengers team. We don't need to rush everything in the multiverse. Skrull is the main villain. Grace said it's always been about the characters' qualities and how they resonate with the reader.
Yep.
Enviro Earth said, don't complain about LGBT characters. 99% of characters are straight. No one's complaining about gay characters. I'm just complaining when they make up gay. Like, I think what did Rohan say? Yeah, the comics already have characters of every background. Like, there's no need to go and switch someone's origin and make them this or create
Yeah.
someone of that.
There's
Like, there's someone
already
in
created.
Marvel representing every one of every. I promise you. Maybe except for me. Like, I brought up to Darius, like, there are no, like, black and white mixed niggas. Like,
True. There's not a lot of interracial.
and so I don't get the point of just going and making, like, y'all can say, Miles, that nigga is Mexican. I'm not Mexican. Or I'm not Latino. I'm not. And so it's just like, yeah, I never got the point in making shit up whenever the qualities and characters are already in the source. That's just what upsets me. Like, I never get upset seeing anyone represented on screen. Like, let's get that
You know, and that's
out
something.
the way.
That's
Yeah,
something
like-
that's.
I love anyone getting a shine unless it's Ezra Miller. Like, I'll tell you when I don't want a nigga getting a shine for sure. Like,
That's something that is a real conversation, though, too. When it comes to talking about representation, when it comes to movies, when it comes to all that stuff, anytime somebody brings up the LGBTQ community, it feels like you have to walk on eggshells, like you can't say certain things or you're going to get canceled. And I can, because as a member of the community, I can say what the fuck I want to say.
Amen.
So it, you know, it's one of the, it's not about hating on the LGBTQ community or anything like that. It's more so what Q just said and what we kind of said earlier, not kind of, what we did say earlier. There's no reason to make Norrin Radd a female when in his inception that's not what he ever was.
Shit, if you want a female, like Nova's right, like I said.
Yeah, there's
Nova's
no
right there.
reason to do
Like,
that. Just like
yes.
there was never a reason to make. What is the reason to
And
make
if that-
Wonder Man black
exactly.
when you
What
have
was
a
the-
white actor
like,
that
why did they
there's
switch
too many black
Taskmaster to a
characters?
woman?
Yes. What was the reason? What's the reason? You know, the talks at first before it was Norrin Radd, it was Galactus. What's the reason? Why are you? So it's not hating on women. It's not hating on. It's not trying to demasculize anyone. It's not hating on a community or a race or anyone like that. It's simply just stating for why. What is your reasoning into changing someone's the way they were made? The way, because if that's the case, make a character, create a new character. If that's what you want to do, create your very own character. It's you own the universe. You can make anyone you want to make.
Just like-
but do not take already pre-established characters who we've been on journeys with since we were picked up our first comic, and then you feel so entitled that you can change this character to what you want the character to be. That's what we're talking about. It's not
Right.
hating on a community. It's not hating on a race or anybody.
I don't want to hear like they can't make up character because they brought a character in Moon Knight and they're
Right.
doing it in
Right.
the second season of What If,
And
where
they're
they
doing
made
it in
up
Agatha
character.
with the
Yep.
Green Witch or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck she's called.
Where she was going to be the most powerful
She
witch.
is the
And-
most powerful
yeah,
witch
and
in the
so
MCU.
Yeah.
It's like they know they can make their characters up and
Exactly.
everything, but
Exactly.
yeah, let me see. Yeah, my fault, Corn. I didn't mean to call Miles Mexican. I know he's from Puerto Rico. Not from, but I was just ranting. Showmonger said Kevin can produce the Powerpuff Girls. Gray said you can't mess up the Fantastic Four. Nigerian nurse said only people that can do this right is the Russo brothers.
Yep. Bring them back
I
too.
agree
They
with
need
that.
to.
Gray said, "Who blames the customers anyways?" No, that's true. Like,
That's true.
never the fans' fault. Raptor said, "Delightful. Always wanted Universal to get Marvel and Star Wars."
Be interesting.
Yeah.
I support Matthew Vaughn's whole conversation. We never talked about it. Again, I didn't talk about it on here with you guys, but the whole Matthew Vaughn made the suggestion to the Lucasfilm that he wanted to do a Star Wars. He wants to reboot Star Wars. He wants to tell the same stories, but he wants to retell them today with today's technology, today's different kind of same story, but maybe some different things, different elements, whatever. At first, I was like, no, don't touch but. In the age of reboots and things like that, I would not mind seeing a Darth Vader in his prime with 2023 technology. Because, the only time you ever see Vader fight is it's very stiff. I mean, you got to remember those movies were made in the 80s and 70s, so it ain't flashy by no means. But it's beautiful. I still love it. It's beautiful, but it's not.
I feel like I have so long until I get to Vader.
Oh, you have a long time. We are nowhere close to Vader. But yeah, I agree with Matthew Vaughn. I would say run it back.
Jay Nomikaze said, "I think people forgot why we really love comics and what they're supposed to stand for. Don't matter what color or gender you are, all that matters is your morals and your ideals. That's why we love
Exactly.
Cap, Spidey, etc."
Yep.
No,
That is
I think
true.
even myself, sometimes we all get lost in just today's society and the world we live in of just everything has to be pointed out and just critiqued and this and that. But like it really doesn't matter. Like, black kids are gonna look up to Spider-Man, Superman. White kid, Black Panther came out. You're gonna have white kids walking around in Black Panther mask.
Yeah.
If someone finds something to correlate and relate to a character and a reason to love them, beautiful.
But you can do that without
Beautiful.
completely changing their identity or
I just want them to stop doing it because they think, it goes back to our conversation when we first start, they think that they're pushing some agenda to get some type of fan service instead of
Exactly.
actually servicing your fans.
exactly.
Like, they're trying to
intentions are
reach,
not
They want a
there.
pat on the back.
they're trying to reach more audiences instead of just pleasing their one big audience. They want to make the audience bigger by putting
It's
more.
like it's like that friend that's always like, I'm not racist, I voted Obama. They want you to see. You see, we did the black character.
I'm always
we did
at my neighbor's cookout.
Yeah, we did the gay character. She's a woman now. We did it. You see, that's what they want.
I adopted a black kid.
Yes.
You know, like what Kanye say, like scarier than the white family than adopt a black kid. Like,
Right.
you never know.
Thank you so much, Reese, for
Reese,
the super
thank
chat.
you.
Happy
Reese, so
holidays to you
much.
as well, and
Happy holidays
to
from
all
Reese.
of. Happy holidays to everyone. I
holidays.
forget tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm not a holiday
No.
person.
But my mom worked tomorrow. I don't have much family.
Happy
out here.
holidays
I'll
to
be
everyone.
Chilling.
Thank you so much for that, Reese. Happy holidays to
Don't
you
worry, I'll
guys.
make sure they'll get plates tomorrow.
I don't know if Reese. I don't know if you guys noticed. I don't know if because I didn't tell you guys either. But at the end of that most recent Black Panther video I did, the clipped video, the one that's not from the live, but the one that's clipped, Reese's letter is at the end of that video. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but you can check that out. But yeah, no, like I said, it's just it's just funny. Like I said, just the whole like, yeah. I voted for Obama.
No, yeah, it's like
It's
shit,
just the
going-
intentions behind it. The
Going-
intentions behind it are not good.
And that's what I was about to say. Like, it with intentions, it goes back to whatever you asked when we were at work. When you asked them, like, do you understand like the message and plight behind Boondocks? Like, it's like some of these niggas really don't even understand what they're putting onto these and what it like might mean to some kids or some shit. Like seeing some shit or like what taking away some certain characteristics might mean. Like, do you even understand the character you're producing and making movies about? That's how I sometimes feel about the niggas in the writing room.
Yeah, no,
because
that's true.
I'll see. I know you see. I know we all see some shit where it's like, man, I'm a fan of this character, and I don't. Not just me, but I don't think any of us would have put that like that. Like, and so.
Yeah.
You know, that's funny you bring that up. Q what he brought up was at work, because we were at work. You know, Boondocks is one of my favorite shows, one of Q's favorite shows, and one of our ex-co-workers, because you know you ain't got a lot to kick it, wanted to fit in so bad that he started watching Boondocks, and when he started watching, he said he started watching it at home with his roommates and things like that, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying the Boondock and what
niggas are not gatekeeping.
Yeah, I'm not gatekeeping Boondocks. Anybody can watch Boondocks if they want. All I simply asked him, because he was talking about the first, I think it was the first episode. He was talking about the first episode and something Riley said, and I said, "Do you understand what that means? Like, do you get
Like, understand the content?
Right? Yeah. Are you getting what you're laughing at?
No,
like,
are
are you?
It was just funny.
Yeah, like what you're consuming. Are you understanding why what he said is funny? Like, but no, you're not. So it's just that's so funny to me that I forgot about that fucking fake ass.
Shout out Cleves with the super chat. Thank you.
Oh yes, thank you so
Say
much.
keep up the good work and happy holidays.
Thank
to all
you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Happy holidays.
Back
I
to the
appreciate it.
All you have a
Happy
safe day tomorrow. If
holidays.
y'all traveling this
Yeah.
weekend for the holidays, be safe. Shit. I mean, I know you ain't doing. We might be in here tomorrow or Friday or some shit. I don't be doing much, and so.
I have.
But no, yeah, it's just like back to that
I'll be
point.
here
it's like,
Friday, probably, maybe.
it might even serve the point of it. Your audience might not even understand what the fuck you're trying to say sometimes. Like,
No.
so it's like, it's just
Yeah.
some shit's done for no reason. But like Reese said, to my point, it's like Reese isn't black but loves BP, dressed up as him 5 years in a row. It's like, nigga, for Halloween,
Right.
I can't tell you. I had a Superman suit, Batman. I don't even like Batman now, but shit, back then I did. So I'm telling you, like, we all also always figure, like, this shit is for the kids. Like, at the end of the day, I know it's for the kids, but it's like, if I don't like it, why the fuck would, if you don't like it, why would you take your son to see it?
Exactly.
You know, like, it just don't, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that if a group of adults don't like it, you're going to bring a bunch of kids in and like they're going to be like, oh yay, because at the end of the day, when we go to see all this stuff, that's what we're reliving. We're just bringing out our inner child. Like, this isn't us being grown-ups like, oh yeah, nigga, let's go watch the fucking Marvels. Like, no, nigga, we're being kids when we go do this shit. And so, I don't know. I think they need to just, studios and even they're trying to copy The Boys and Rick and they need to realize, like, that's not what the source material was for, or even script. Like, a lot of this shit is really they're doing too much. Like, that's just what it comes down to.
Doing a lot.
Raymond said, when I was littler? Raymond, what?
Raymond.
When I was little, I was always Spider-Man or MJ, Naruto, Batman, or Doc. Yeah, no, that's what...
Yeah.
I'm
no.
going to be honest. I don't think I dressed up as a nigga for Halloween unless it was an athlete when I was a kid.
I mean, KJ told me the other day that he was Ghost Spider. And I was like, okay. Fly on. Like,
Hey.
cool. Like, I'm not mad about it.
Twiddle on.
Yeah, like, go ahead, Gwen, do your thing. Like,
D. Steele said Riley would have worn all white to Wakanda Forever. Huey would have stayed home.
Yeah, Huey would have stayed
They
home.
wouldn't have bought a ticket. They would have snuck in that motherfucker. You said you wasn't crying when I took you. You wanted to see Soul playing, didn't you? That nigga said, I say we leave Jasmine. She gonna keep crying and get us caught. Then he grinned at him. That nigga. Nigerian nurse said, hey, my guy, we're actually done with everything. I really need to send you this script. You're going to be the voice of Brother Voodoo. Tyrone Magnus going to be the voice of Blade.
Yeah, I just mentioned them.
Oh, okay, I was about to say. I didn't want you to skip over that shit or not see it. Let me scroll up a little because I've caught some of these. And those. Damn, I read a lot of these. SP said, just like you have only watched No Way Home. How many? I mean, like, besides of us, like, I know you rewatched it right after it came out, but how many times have you gone back and watched shit from phases 4 and 5? Because I know I rewatched the first Doctor Strange and Civil War, and
the only movie
I'll rewatch phases 1 through 3 before something from 4 or some shit.
The only thing I've watched from season 4, but like phase 4 recently, is Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That's great. I haven't even rewatched that.
Yeah, I've like.
I just rewatched because
They're just losing.
I just
grip.
rewatched Shang-Chi the other day. But again, I was reminded of how much I hate that third act. God, that third act.
Yeah.
That third
Katie.
act was weird.
Jeez, that third
The best
act.
part
is
about
just
that
not
movie
good.
is so beautiful, though, and
The beginning.
Talo.
Oh,
That's-
fuck.
yeah,
The
that's
beginning
beautiful.
between the fight between his mom and
Dance scene.
the whole story she's telling at the
Beautiful.
beginning.
Oh,
That shit
beautiful.
is great.
Thank
I
you.
got chills.
Thank you to Connoisseurs.
Oh, thank you so
Triple
much,
Salute.
Connoisseur.
you.
He said, only fanatics, we locked in. Happy holidays. We here.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You
That's
know,
funny.
we got Sprite in here. That's the cat from the Marvels. She in here getting crazy.
She's a flirkin.
Grace said Ruckus would have wanted T'Challa and Killmonger dead in the first film. Talk about why didn't they bomb Wakanda? Raymond said, I just binged Grey's Anatomy. Not a bad show. Those deaths did get me. I was never a fan of Grey's.
Grey's is
Can't lie.
too emotional. For
I'm
me.
binge watching Blacklist right now.
It's too emotional. I can't get into Grey's. It's too. I cry too much.
I'm rewatching Game of Thrones right now.
I'm into Modern Family.
I still need to watch that for the first time. I never watched it.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
need to
watch
get
Game of
into it for
Thrones.
sure.
I know. I still haven't watched Game of Thrones
Oh
yet.
yeah, that's a shit, so good.
Don't
Don't get me wrong, House of Dragon's great, but it ain't got shit on Game of Thrones, bro. I mean, I remember watching House of Dragon. I was like, oh man, this is so good. It's not Game of Thrones, but it's so good. How long has it been now? A year since it's good.
Just about.
It ain't Game of Thrones. So after rewatching Game of Thrones, I'm like, shit, this shit here is fucking fire.
Yeah,
Sit down.
Raymond said he could never get into it, and that's how I was. I was just maybe now that all the episodes are out, I can. But while it was coming out week to week, it wasn't for Q.
Yeah, no, it's great. I said the same thing when it was week to week and people were watching, because I had friends. My aunt watched it week to week, and I was like, "How are you?"
No,
watching
all my
this?
friends
I cannot
did,
get
yeah.
into this.
Yeah, I can't. If it's too hype, I can't get into it. I mean, I got into Stranger Things when they dropped the last part of season 4, and I finally was like, okay, I get the hype.
Oh no! See, I was on Stranger
Oh, no,
Things. Stranger Things came out when you guys were playing.
Yeah, no, I haven't caught. Like, I remember, like, the new season was coming out, and I was like, I don't watch this shit. So I binge watched the first 3
Sprite.
seasons, and I was like, man,
I binge
I'm not
watched-
going to remember this shit because I dead ass just sat in bed, hit my pen, and watched. Like,
Oh,
I.
it's intense.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Stranger Things, that came out when, that was what, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, like when I first got
Yeah.
into high school type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, I was gonna say y'all were. That was
I just graduated. the
Because
year
we were still a
after.
team, which
Y'all were
means we
still a
had to be
team.
freshmen.
because I watched season 1 during primetime nationals in Dallas.
But yeah, when it first came out, I was like, I do. Oh, great! I agree with you because I remember watching the first episode of season 1, and at the end, I popped up so quick, and I was like, "Where the fuck is Will?
Yeah.
Where is he?" Like,
Yeah,
and
no,
that's
it's
after
a-
that, I was locked in. But yeah, I didn't watch Stranger Things until they dropped either the first part of season 4 or the second part of season 4.
I'm not gonna lie. Once it just didn't draw me in. Like I wasn't a fan of the Demogorgon and shit. And then once I started talking to Trey about all the D&D, I don't know. I was just like, this shit is like.
That show
It's just
is
D&D.
is like what's me to get into. The
Oh, you still don't like Stranger Things?
I mean, I don't dislike it, but I'm not. Like I can watch it, but I don't sit here and say it's one of my favorite shows. But I didn't dislike it while I was watching it. It was just while it was coming out, I never like watched it season to season. So I had to watch all 3 like back to back, and I just. That shit
I think
Right.
whatever season it is where she meets, I think it's season 2. That's a season, that arc I really didn't care for.
And that's crazy because it was like I watched season 1, it was like, oh, okay, and then you get to season 2 where I was like, I don't really want to watch season 3 now. But I watched, and season 3 was
Season
fine.
3 is good.
Season 3 is
Yeah.
good.
Season 4,
Whoo, baby.
And I
season
can't,
4
that's
is
the thing.
good.
Can't say I've watched it because isn't that the one that last came out in the second? We're waiting on the second part.
No,
No,
we're
we
waiting
have-
on season 5 now.
5.
Season 5, yeah.
Okay.
Season
Haven't watched
4
4.
was, oof, man.
Another show I'm super excited about, which a lot of people may or may not be into, but The Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
I have not gotten into that.
Neither
I will
have
say the first season is a slow burn, but after that, the first few episodes in the first season are a slow burn, but it's pretty good. And it's the first season is based off of the comic series. There's 12 comics
Oh.
in that series, but season 2 and 3, they're kind of just winging it.
We need
So
to
it's
talk
very
about how
interesting.
that new Hunger Games was fucking ass.
I haven't watched it
I
yet.
haven't watched it, but
That
is it
shit
not
was
good?
2 titties. That shit was milk, bro.
I have
Oh!
not watched it yet.
That shit was not. It was, bro. That Hunger Games movie was 2 hours and 40 minutes long. The Hunger Games lasted maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, the second season.
And it was
fire.
and it was kids, you know. And so, you know, if I'm a Hollywood director and I get to make a movie about kids killing each other, you gonna have some emotions and some draw to the characters. When I tell you there was no emotional draw to any of
I
this,
heard it's not
no,
great.
there was even like there was a Down syndrome girl and she died in the Hunger Games. If I would have wrote that, you would have been crying. Like niggas would have felt that. I watched that shit and I straight faced it. The Hunger Games is a musical. Like this bitch sings the whole. I don't
Oh,
like calling
no.
them the B word. This
Oh,
woman
no.
sings the whole movie.
Oh, I'm singing.
But the only interesting part about it is if you're a Hunger Games fan and you like Hunger Games lore, you find out why President Snow is the way he is. But other than that, don't watch that shit, bro. It's not even a
heard-
Hunger Games movie.
I heard it's not that great.
Yeah, I have not seen a lot of good
No, bro, it was bad.
reviews.
It was bad.
I heard it's not. To answer some questions here, I saw Gray said the first episode of Game of Thrones lays the groundwork, and that is so damn true. It's that first episode that drew me in because I wasn't paying attention, but then I was like, oh, damn. Then he said there,
You read
where
what
they
Gray-
asked about who?
Chill said though, like, would you recommend it if it's not complete?
House of Dragon?
Yeah, because Chill said he wouldn't. And so it's like I wouldn't want to get into it, and then it's like, damn, now I'm waiting on all this shit.
Wait, did you watch House of the Dragon?
I haven't watched either. House of Dragon or Game of Thrones.
He makes a point.
I would say because there are things talked about unless you know the lore. There are things talked about in Game of Thrones, and before I watched Game of Thrones, I didn't know the lore. I got into that shit, and
Yeah,
I know all that
You
shit
did
now.
say that.
But unless you know the lore, they talk about, because when I first watched it, I was like, who, what? But so, yeah, there's
Where
like,
the niggas?
yeah, there are no black people
Where the
besides
niggas
that
at?
crabber or whatever pirate. But yeah, no, I would have to probably agree with Chill, because the dance is something I feel like has to be watched before you watch Game of Thrones, and the dance hasn't even happened yet. So,
True.
and with how long these seasons are going to take, they're talking about 4 seasons to properly tell the dance. So you'll be watching Game of Thrones in like 2030 something. That's when you'll be able to binge. You can binge all the
Properly.
seasons of House of Dragon, then
All
you
right.
go binge Game of Thrones.
30-year-old Q might have kids or something. We might.
Y'all can all watch it.
Hey guys.
Trust me, if you have kids, you
9
need
years.
something
9
to
years
escape.
ago. 9 years ago,
This shit
Uncle
was
Derek. He said we should binge this shit. So
This shit
just
was
to let
it.
you guys know, not a lot of niggas, but watch it.
Yeah.
Damn, what the fuck? Dorian Clayton said, "If y'all watch Gen V or Upload on Prime."
I don't know
haven't
what
watched
Upload
Gen V.
is.
I haven't watched
Yeah.
The Boys either yet.
I don't know
though.
what Upload is, but I
That's
have
good.
watched Gen V, and just to I love that you haven't watched it, but Gen V ties the next season of The
I
Boys.
saw
in.
that in the finale.
But
I didn't watch the finale.
But they
yet.
do it so perfectly, if I'm being honest, because it gives you a hint of what next season's gonna be about, and even lets you. I mean, if you read the comics, you know Vaught's plan and shit,
Mhm.
and so it's like. It's really good. It gives you something to look forward to. I like the way Amazon's handling that, for sure.
I've watched the first
But
2
what-
episodes of Gen V. So
What is
far.
what is Upload,
I don't know.
Dorian? If you don't mind answering
I
that
don't
one,
know.
because I haven't heard of it.
I heard a lot of people aren't too high on Invincible season 2.
I haven't watched. I watched the first episode, and I think
Wait,
I don't know.
Invincible?
I didn't get to.
Invincible?
There's 3 out now, and I didn't watch the other 2 of Invincible. I watched the first one of season 2, and it was pretty.
I've heard some
Pretty
mixed
slow.
reviews. I haven't
Yeah.
watched it yet.
I heard people are not really feeling it at all. At all. Reese said, by the way, Robert Downey Jr. and Daniel, is it Daniel? Oh, sorry. Denai have, oh, really? Replied to one of Reese's letters about Chadwick. Pretty cool response, and thanks for shouting out Reese. Reese wants everyone to know Chad's birthday is 11/29.
That's the main goal of the letter.
That is very
Right.
cool. Yeah, that is what-
Congratulations, Reese.
That is
that's
that
really
is the
cool.
goal to reach out. That is the goal. So
That's amazing that they
congratulations.
responded and everything.
Yeah.
Because that's the goal, not to write to an empty wall. Someone
Right.
gonna see them.
Right, that is the goal. I do want to show this really quick because I wanted to watch this. Hold on, let me tell. You can read that. We're going to tell Jay to come back in here because he needs to see this.
Connoisseur said, yeah, because the woke Snow White was in it. Nigerian said, well, the first season of Umbrella Academy was okay, but the second season was fire.
Yeah.
See,
I even
that's
like
where,
the 3rd season.
I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's hard to get into shows and the first season is just okay. Like, if the first
It's a
season,
slow.
if the
it's a
first season
slow
ain't-
burn.
Do Andor.
if it's a TV show in the first episode ain't like,
It's very much an origin
it's hard for me to
season.
get into it.
Because it's kind of a complex story, so it's very much an origin season, and it's very slow paced the first few episodes. But after you get past the half point, you're like, oh shit, and how they end it, you're like, oh shit, okay. But second season they pick it up, and it's pretty good.
I just know when I scroll, I see a monkey on the cover.
Yeah, I have seen the monkey.
Oh,
The
he's so
monkey nigga.
I have seen the
Oh.
monkey.
oh.
Dorian, I'm gonna wait for him to comment that second part.
We need to. We still have to do Corey's. We have to start episode 2 for Corey. I mean, we need to start that because once we finish episode 2, ooh, Jesus,
I know.
we got all of Clone Wars.
Mike's been lifing over here with me.
Dorian
guys.
said, Upload is a show where Robbie, a male character, dies and his rich girlfriend gets his consciousness uploaded into Lakeview, a luxury digital afterlife, where he starts
I
to
have
uncover
seen
the truth
that.
about his death and what's going on with the corporation that's behind Lakeview.
I
And what they have
seen
planned
that.
for other low-income digital afterlives.
Oh, that's crazy.
Afterlives.
I've seen the
Afterlife
trailer
is-
for it. I saw the trailer for
Oh, that's
that.
a creepy
I
thought,
didn't know
though.
it was called Upload. Yeah.
No, that shit deadass sounds like fucking. What were they trying? I can't think of what that shit is called. But no, it sounds like some shit that like you need hella episodes to get into, in my opinion. Because if I watch some shit and it's only like one or two, even just one season of that shit, and I like it, I'm pissed off. Because if I only have like 8 episodes of some shit I like, that I feel like there's like a whole other story to, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
hurry up with this shit. Like, should have like 8, 9 seasons. I'm like, damn.
Right.
Yeah, Grace said it's a cool show. And then Reese said Reese's B-Day was November 1st. Yeah, happy belated.
Happy
But show.
birthday
Wish we
to
would have known
you.
that on the 1st. He said, Grace said, you get the concept in the first episode. What is it on? Y'all said.
I think
Amazon?
Amazon.
I'll check it out. Probably
On the
not.
Prime?
I'm heavy in the Blacklist right now. I'm almost done with it.
I'm about to start watching. That's when I watched this trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was trying to wait
You
for
wait on him, yeah.
Jay to come in here, but it might be taking a long time.
Raymond said you need to stop playing and watch Naruto and Shippuden.
I am. That's what.
No, he's not. I know you don't watch anime.
I am.
And then Raymond said, I used to like Stranger Things and I love the last season, but in light of recent events, that show might go on the hell no list for me. What are the recent events?
I don't know. Is there something with the cast? Are we talking about Noah Schnapp? What's going on?
All you say is Dave. Like,
That's how they say it.
Schnapp.
Schnapp.
Like an old American man.
Noah Schnapp.
Snap! Get your ass over here!
Boy, he was on. I mean, I was watching him with Terry Joe. That Terry Joe is fucking. Jeez, God. Oh my God. The shit that comes out of Keelan's mouth is insane.
That Diddy shit had me weak. You know what I'm talking about? Whenever they was asking him, like, do they know you a boy? And then he was like, did he ask him, did he know you was?
Yeah, yes. He did. He was on. He did a
Sorry,
live
yeah.
with the girl from the girl from Euphoria, the white girl.
Oh, wow.
She told him. She said, "I think you and I have something in common." And she said, "What's that?" She said, "We both have a secret." Bro, I swear I can just sit and they have like 2-hour, 3-hour compilations of Terry Joe's best moments. That is some of the funniest
No,
shit.
yeah, some of those clips are funny as shit.
My God, like somebody asked her one time, what TV show do you relate to from your childhood? And she's like, "That's a Raven." In the comments, somebody said, "More like Corey in the house." That shit was so funny. Oh fuck! That shit's funny.
Raymond said Noah Schnapp in his interesting ways. Him saying Zionism is sexy in light of the carnage that's happening now. And me personally, I hope he gets stuck in the upside down and Mike goes off into the sunset with that. Dorian said, y'all going live tonight is making smoking these briskets a little better. Also, have y'all watched any of the DC Animated Universe movies? They have like
heck yeah.
8 to 9 years of movies that created their
Heck
their
yeah.
own universe that even led into an Endgame-like movie. I'll tell you what.
That shit's fire.
Is what me and Darius have been saying. DC just need to make the live action. Let the animators take over the
live action realm.
Yeah, you must not have been here when we had our Young Justice talks and shit. I mean, that's not a movie, but that's one of the best animated
of
DC things.
Young Justice, yeah. That shit, I think, is going to Netflix. I think it's going to Netflix now because they're not wanting to pick it up. There's been a whole bunch of what studio's going to do it.
Oh,
blah, blah,
Netflix
blah.
is going to continue it?
Netflix is going to continue. Season 5 might be on Netflix. Yeah, so I need them. I hope they don't cancel that. Bro, do not cancel that shit. The way season 4 ended, you got to finish it. Season 4, I had to watch season 4 several times.
No, bro, it's
to
confusing.
understand it. Yeah, I had to watch season 4
shit.
several times. So I was like, Jesus, what is going on?
Raymond said Justice League Gods and Monsters was amazing in my opinion. DC wins with their animated stuff. Some were bad, but some have been good. Young Justice was amazing. Yeah, no, their animated shit is...
Just watched Dark Justice
Mm-hmm.
the other night with Constantine.
Yup.
So good.
Katrina said Star Spartacus was great. Did you see it? I have not.
I haven't.
Dorian said I haven't seen Young Justice. Or I was not, but Young Justice was amazing. Season 1 and 2 was peak animation and storytelling. I'm tired of it getting canceled after another big clip. That's how I became a Blue Beetle fan, was Young Justice.
Yeah. But it definitely enhanced me as a, because I've never really a big Ted Cord fan like that.
Boy, and that
I'm not
nigga
gonna
showed
say
up
why.
and beat the shit out of Rob.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Blue Beetle. One thing I really love that they did with Blue Beetle in that, and I enjoyed Xolo Marianas. I love Xolo, so yay, support it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I will go back and watch Blue Beetle or anything like that, but the relationship between the Scarab and him and Young Justice, A1,
Perfect.
bro. It is so
I can't
good.
say for the movie because I have not watched it
Well,
yet.
it's not like that. it's not that
Well, I mean,
relationship.
we saw
you
that
right
we
now.
saw in the trailers how the suit was even kind of like Jarvis type
Yeah,
shit. Is that
yeah.
kind of what it's like?
It's kind of. It is.
Jarvis.
It is.
Iron Man.
It is Iron Man Jarvis like because in Young Justice, like when just any scenario, but one particular scene when they're trying to save someone or they're trying to take down a ship or some helicopter or something like that. The Scarab said we could have easily taken it down the same with my method as well if we just went straight through, or he's like, no, that's killing. He's like, what's wrong with that?
It's
it's
dead ass like
yeah.
like in Moon Knight.
Yeah.
They did the Scarab well. The show
Mhm.
just wasn't that good in my opinion. Like everything with Oscar Isaac was cool, but the Scarab was good and everything. And so that kind of pissed me off watching the Blue Beetle trailer, seeing how it was all kind of just AI tech in his suit and shit. Because in Young Justice, it's like dead ass. It's
a part of
Scarab
him. It's
is
like his conscience.
That's what it is. It's a god
Yeah.
telling you, like, nigga, we're gonna do, like, this is the best way to do it. This, that, do this.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want you to do. And so, I don't know. I never understood that concept in the movie, but yeah, they definitely did it perfect in Young Justice.
Yeah. Dorian said, "Boy, when Black Beetle showed up, damn near put Wonder Girl, through the wall, bro." Black Beetle was a problem for several episodes. He was a problem because he was beating the shit out of them. Like not just him. Like whenever what was the green one's name? The Martian that had the Scarab. Forget his name. He helped, but Black Beetle was still fucking him up too.
Fuck, what is his name?
Forget his name.
Damn,
I know he's a
that's pissing
Martian.
me off.
Yeah, no, you got it. Young Justice, even if you don't know anything about DC, you can watch Young Justice, and because it's a story like there's not one thing in Young Justice that like doesn't get paid off. Like if there's a story that they leave for maybe half the season, they might come back to it, but it's progressed off screen, and like you come back to it in like season 3, season 4, and it's like this person's older and more has happened, and it's like when Kid Flash dies, that. You feel that shit. Like, it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
But you feel that shit when Kid Flash dies because you feel for Artemis. You feel for...
Young Justice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, it's... Yeah, such a good show.
Yeah,
such a good show.
Everything about that shit.
Connor's progression.
Like, bringing Beast Boy in.
Yeah, Beast Boy's progression. Like, everybody seriously progressed. Like, Megan's progression.
Yep.
Bro, it's
she is nasty.
She is. She's a problem.
They might have wrote her like up with Martian type shit, like Manhunter, because she is.
Well, Manhunter said her power far exceeds his.
I mean, that nigga Manhunter is
he's
written well. You know that nigga is nasty. But yeah, no, McGann is tough. But that's the thing about them too is they're all so like well-written characters and shit. Like they're not fighting no punk-ass, bitch-ass villains. Like they're like them are some serious.
No, they are getting their asses
stories
beat.
they in, and they lose a lot too.
They lose a lot. You see them lose a lot. It's dope. It's dope.
What's the one where they're fighting Darkseid? The animated, not in Young Justice, just the DC. Bro,
Apocalypse War.
Whenever Green Lantern was telling you, he's like, I could do this all day, and Darkseid just throws that nigga through the wall.
Oh, not that one. That's not Apocalypse War. I know which one you're talking about. I forget
Yeah,
which one
bro,
it is.
that
Yeah.
shit is one of my favorite animated scenes. Where you saw
That's like when they first get together.
Yes, bro. He just throws that nigga through the wall, and it's over. I was like, God damn, bro. Like, this shit is for real. That's
When
what
Batman took his ring off.
Yeah, that's what I realized.
Yeah,
like,
that's a
gee,
good
this
one.
animated shit is
That's a
like,
good one.
because I remember me and Brace stayed up all night and just watched
watching
a bunch
them, yeah.
of different shit. Because
Justice League War. Yeah, that's
yeah,
a good one.
yes, that's what it was. Because we were talking about that whenever, like, we used to talk about the animated shit hella.
Yeah, that's a damn good one.
Justice League War, yeah, no, that is goated. Grace said, I want to see the progression of Cassandra Cain and Young Justice.
Progression of who now?
Cassandra Cain.
Okay, we're talking about Young Justice and how much, because we're watching that now,
I don't know what
going
you
through
do, but
it.
it smells so good. It smells like curry.
Spaghetti.
Oh, you were you watching
It
it?
smells like curry.
Mm-hmm. Because he hasn't seen it, so we're going through it.
Goated.
It's
Young Justice. Boy, like, you tell me season 5, like, you moved to Netflix, got me wanting to go back and watch season 4 just because how
we haven't even gotten
confusing that shit is. Like,
there. Yeah.
I can't sit here and tell you I remember the order of events of season 4 and just how everything happened. Just because it all happens like
It's there's so much going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
about to
you're
say,
in
it's
the
staggering,
fucking, you're in
kinda.
the negative. I mean, there's so much going on. Like, you got the shit going on with Connors being lost. You got the shit going on with fucking Zod, and you got the like
our Cyborg story. And
Yeah.
goated too.
Yeah.
They did Cyborg well.
very well. They're handling
Mother boxes.
the
yeah.
mother boxes.
Loved it.
Darkseid, Granny Gooden, they're handling bro, it's handled also. So you've got all these different stories going on at once. So you got the thing going on with the light and Darkseid and Granny Gooden and all them. Then you got the things going on with Zod. It's just and now Zod is out of what is it? It's not the negative. It's not the what am I thinking? Help me out, chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not
The
gonna be
realm,
one.
the zone that it's Dorian, the zone that Connor's been trapped in with Zod, or forget what it's called, but yeah, the Phantom Zone. Thank you.
Phantom Zone.
Handling the Phantom Zone. Well, I was about to say Ghost Zone. Fucking Danny Phantom. But yeah, handling the Phantom Zone well, and it's such a good show. Like Sir Yuri G said, I haven't seen you in a minute, Sir Yuri G, but like Sir Yuri G said,
Wiseman.
yeah, it's just great, bro. That's season 4 and all that. Go to, you got to watch it. If you have not seen Young Justice, I highly suggest watching Young Justice. It's great.
What is that? Amazon, Hulu,
HBO Max.
Everything DC gonna be HBO.
Yeah, everything on DC is gonna be.
Like Marvel is with Disney.
Oh, that makes sense.
Any more of these you want to read? I know I gotta get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, I gotta start.
We watching a trailer? What are
Oh
we
yeah,
doing?
we'll watch that trailer really quick. I mean, the show is already on. There's 3 episodes in already, but we were just talking about interesting trailers, and I didn't really care that much. It's fun, another fun movie. I didn't care that much for Godzilla vs. King Kong. It was okay. But the show, you know how all the movies, the Godzilla movies plus Godzilla vs. King Kong, how they all connect and everything like that.
Yeah.
So now the show is just carrying on with that to where it's all going to connect. So I saw some of the trailer, like I saw maybe 10 seconds of it, and I was like, it actually looks good. And there's 3 episodes out right now. What's it called? Is it Gods and Monarchs, or Monarchs and... Gods and Monsters. Oh, maybe that's not what it's called. That's some shit for Lana Del Rey.
Great song.
Godzilla series.
Anyone in the chat watch the Harley Quinn animated show? Because I started that shit, but I didn't. I'm not.
I think Sir Yuri G watched it.
I didn't enjoy it. I watched
And I
the
think
first
Gray
season.
watched it.
I didn't enjoy too much of it. I watched it, but it wasn't my favorite or anything.
Okay, this is the trailer. Actually, I don't think this is the... No. This is not the series. This is that actual movie that's like not in English.
Ray
right there.
Gaga! Alright, this one.
The world is on fire.
It's this one.
Monarch was there in San Francisco.
You're so excited!
When the whole city was coming down, these guys were taking pictures, like they'd been waiting for it.
You think that your father was working for them?
This stuff was in a safe.
Who are they? What's Monarch?
This is the world we live in. Monsters are an inescapable reality.
Those files belong to us, and they are more important than you could possibly imagine.
This is gonna give me nightmares.
Godzilla.
Yeah. They're gonna be
Now, you can choke down that Monarch lie. About your father disappearing. Or we can find out what really happened. Before it's too late.
Oh my God! Go, go, go!
This world, it's not ours. Believe me.
It is so much more vast than we could possibly imagine.
These monsters and Monarch have taken everything from me. No more.
The world is on fire. If you want to save millions of lives, we can use some help.
Gaga.
God awful. God awful.
My only thing with that is I'm more into movies like Godzilla. Because if I watch a series and this motherfucker's like in it for like, I feel like that's like the last episode.
Yeah.
Because if he's not in it, I don't want to watch it. Yeah. So, or if it's not like showing the others, like Monarch or any of the other ones or whatever the fuck. I used to know all the names of Godzilla's.
Cleve said it's actually good.
Is it? Do they show a lot of the monsters or is it the people? Because if it's the people, keep it. But yeah, so anyway, we'll get out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Oh shit, I don't have Apple TV. Well, I do have that bootleg shit, so we can watch it on that.
Oh,
but
but bootleg shit.
Yeah, like Brian Fisher said, thank you, Reese Casachala, as always. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight.
Have a good holiday.
Yes, everybody have a happy holiday season. Happy Thanksgiving. Of course, we'll be back with you guys after all of that, of the holiday season and everything like that. Cube and I might be in here Friday with you guys or sometime this weekend. But again, appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. And we will talk to you guys all soon. If you haven't, share this podcast, share this stream with everyone, like, subscribe, share with your friends. And for all of you that have been asking, I have nixed so much on working on the second studio as so much as I'm going to start kind of pulling a Bobby Altoff, and I'm going to do those videos are going to be filmed in different locations. So the first video is going to be filmed in my theater area, my living room, and then so that video will be out when it's filmed soon for the second channel. So yeah. But be looking for that. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see all of you guys
after y'all gain like 10 pounds.
Yeah.
In the next video. Peace
Bye,
out.
guys.
See you guys later.
Happy Turkey Day.